a game theory. Joshy, thanks for watching. I am so stoked to get into the episode. Let's kick it off.
Hop in.
Ready?
Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
What is good, my friends? Welcome back to the official Flash Brothers podcast.
Flash Bros podcast, baby.
Joshy, today is season 4, episode 53.
I can't believe it.
We are finally past, I think, a marathon
Yes.
of episodes that we had a lot of hype building up to, right? We had like our year anniversary.
Yes,
we had a lot of guests on.
Yes, we did.
Another flashbacks episode.
That's right, we did.
Finally.
Had a lot to take care of.
Yeah, and news, right? So, seems like this week we have a more chill topic, something you and I have been alluding to for a minute, actually.
Something we're both excited about,
That's right,
you could
man.
say.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah, and Joshua will be taking the headway this week for the main topic, but before we get there...
I'm going to turn this bad boy into the Joshimation Station.
Joshimation Station.
Come on, you know how we do.
Big electrified sign, right?
Yeah.
Tune in.
I'm picturing the same thing.
Yeah, dude, you got it. You already know.
Yes, sir.
With a lightning bolt and shock drop, and then
shit.
comes in.
That
was
sound design.
Insane. That was insane.
Come on.
We should be sound directors. I'm just saying, bro.
With it.
With it though, this will be the first episode of the brand new song for season 4. We already dropped the brand new pregame song, which that is my favorite. And I'm so glad we're gonna be keeping that as pregame.
Perfect for pregame, like
Dude,
no question.
Yeah, just get you amped up. You know, it's like, hey, we're getting the vibe. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm excited to have like the new music on for this episode too. And Josh hasn't even heard it yet. So.
I have not. No.
Yeah.
I don't know which one we chose
after the episode, my man. Yeah,
well, we already.
Josh is involved with all the music though. I must say,
I would
because
hope so.
I want that A-OK seal of Joshimation approval.
Yes. I wanted to get the artwork done in time. Yeah. We talked about that last couple episodes, but we just really.
We've been so busy,
we've
bro.
just been
I
doing
know.
stuff.
It's crazy.
And
it'll come.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah.
I'm
actually really confident that this season, whenever it gets done, I mean, obviously, the entire channel will have a fresh coat of paint because I'm not going to update just a picture here and a picture here. Sure. I'm going to do a big overhaul.
I'm 100%. I want to do that with the logo, too. I really want to just mess around.
Yes. Get
some good shit going and see what we can do.
Yeah, dude. I am stoked. So,
with me.
Kicking it off today, Joshy, we have season 4, episode 53. As we said, we're recording August 17th today. It is Tuesday, as we do for our podcast day.
Yeah.
Joining me, as I've mentioned several times, it is Joshimation.
Oh, what
Joshy himself, the Star Warrior,
soft reveal,
and
baby.
Soft reveal. My first mate, baby. How we doing, Joshy?
Yeah, man, we're doing good. We're doing really good.
Yeah, fuck yeah, bro. We it's almost 12 hours after we woke up and we started off today.
That's right.
With a recap Xenosaga timeline video.
That's right.
Which we talked about, I think, on pregame, the first one. That was
we talked about it a little bit on the episode. Yeah.
Yeah, because didn't you show me that right before the Xenosaga episode we did?
No, it was a little bit after.
It was after.
A little after.
Okay, because you told me on that episode how like really gassing up Xenobits, and I think if I remember right, he just dropped like part 3.
That's right. That was right when it happened.
That's it. Okay.
And I was so excited about it.
So we watched part 2 this morning, waking up.
Oh yeah.
And I have to say, despite how dense it is with lore, and especially if you haven't played a game as outlandish as Xenosaga,
anything
Takahashi, Final Fantasy, you know, the names and the lingo, terminology, it's so out there that I need a visual, you know? I need to at least see what these characters look like. It's all these characters like Jan Sawyer. I'm Sawyer. He sounds cool. What does he look like?
Yeah,
you know? So I finally feel like gotta have a good grasp today on characters from the video. Plus, you showed me other cutscenes.
Yes, we did.
Right?
So just to get prepared for this episode, because if it's not revealed by now by the name, which is going to be
wink, wink.
It's
well, they'll see it in the name.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll probably be, well, if they didn't catch, it'll be the German. Yeah. What did you say it was?
It's I don't know how to pronounce this one because
the subtitle.
The subtitle is Beyond.
Beyond Good and Evil.
Beyond Good and Evil.
Yeah, dude, so hard.
So I have the actual. You can hear it right here.
Jenseits von Gut und Böse.
It's Jenseits von Gut und Böse.
Yes.
Jenseits von Gut und Böse. That's the title.
That's
guys. So
yeah. That'll be the title.
To get prepared for this episode, me and Sam did. I watched before you came in. I watched a little bit of Resident Arc, who are doing an incredible job. I think they just wrapped up the 3rd game. I think they're done with their whole releasing of their Xenosaga videos. They ran through every single one. Bro. You're telling me, dude. Literally, that is one of the most lore-heavy stories I have ever been a part of. And I'm not talking like lore that isn't mentioned. To be honest, like even something like Dune. You watch the movies, it's not going into the lore. The lore's there if you want it to be and look into it, but it's not an important, integral part for the most part of the story. Xenosaga, it definitely is.
It's literally
there are like 3 factions,
insane.
4 counting the Kukai Foundation, of like characters, of like people who are part of a faction. And you think freaking Xenoblade 3 was a lot with the Agnian, Kavesi, and the Lost Numbers, and then in the Lost Numbers having all those families. It's like it's a lot of people to remember, a lot of people from different backgrounds.
It's overwhelming.
I'd say. Yeah, I was gonna say I mean, you think that's a lot? Play Xenosaga. Holy crap,
dude.
Yeah,
dude.
No, dude.
So, before we get there, Josh,
yes,
I'm very excited. I have our pop topic.
Oh, buddy.
I kind of have been urging to say this morning because I kind of just feel like in my vision. Have you ever seen like Good Mythical Morning?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, dude, I used to watch that.
Me too.
So religiously when they first came out.
Yeah, when they were first around.
Yes, dude, and all the little games they played. So I kind of like that vibe, and so I'll treat it like it's the morning, okay? After our little pregame, which is our amazing bonus content, our premium series we do before every episode. So if you want to hear kind of more personal catch-up Josh and I did before we kicked off this episode, check that out on our Patreon page, my friends. That'll be patreon.com/FlashBrosPodcast. But Joshy, today's pop topic I want to start off with. I found a bunch of questions that I just started compiling.
What?
And I just want to like go down and kind of ask them every episode.
Okay.
Right? So today's question for you, my friend, provoking a good discussion here, is I want one, if possible.
Okay.
But what is your dream Nintendo Switch 2 launch game?
Wow.
Now here's the rules.
Let's get some
rules.
Sorry.
It can be anything.
Okay.
This is... If it seems like it's not going to come out, so you're not going to say it, I don't want you to. I want you to like say whatever if you had a choice to launch any game on the Switch 2, guaranteed, what is it?
It's tough to say.
I think I know.
I think you know.
Listen.
To be honest with you,
the more I started talking, I saw your face though.
Everyone else
you're thinking about it, and you're like, nope, I know.
No, it's the only one that it could be. Anyone listening right now who has listened to our previous episodes, Johnny.
I'd say Caleb too. Caleb's in there. Oh, I know it.
Caleb knows.
Yeah.
Dude, it has to be Tomodachi.
It has to be
Tomodachi World is my dream game that almost surpasses hype of a real game. It's so like beyond. If that was announced, I genuinely don't care how much money I would drop. I would drop as much money as I could for it.
Oh yeah.
You know, they say, oh well, unfortunately, it's only available for $100. I will budget that into my fucking daily. I'll eat less days so that I can play.
And I've seen it. You will eat ramen to be able to play whatever it is you want to play, bro.
Which I am right now.
Which he is right now. Yeah, he's catching up on figures and games. You just got Astro.
Yeah, I did. So that was my one. I haven't bought it.
So okay, because we have had an extensive discussion.
Then let me kick
Tomodachi World. Yeah, let's kick that out and give me another one.
Okay, that's a great point because it should be stated if you guys want to know how much I want Tomodachi World, which is a theoretical fake game.
We actually have an entire episode.
We have a whole episode
Tomodachi World. Check that out, guys.
Go check that out. Yep. That was last season, huh?
Yeah. That was a great episode. I learned a fuck ton. There is so much to that series. I would be just as excited. Not just as, because obviously it would be by an extension of your love for the series.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't play it really at all, but I would be excited for Kendall. I would be excited for myself. I'd be excited for the three of us, like just goofing around and imagining what else they could add to it.
You guys would have so much fun. Seriously.
Oh my gosh!
That's a game that you just check in. You check in with it in a couple days, and then you lose a couple hours on accident. Maybe you spend a bunch of days. I've been there, refreshing the clothing store.
Although I'm so diligent with Pokemon Sleep that I can comfortably handle one game that is a daily check-in type of game, right? I can. Animal Crossing, when I was really in that, granted, it was the only game I played at the time, but it wasn't that tough for me to just do a little bit of gaming spurts.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I'm with it. I feel like that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I'd commit for a minute.
I'm with you for sure.
Okay, so let's rule that out.
Yeah, I'm gonna rule that out.
Where are you at?
So a couple things come to mind. Normally, I'm not going to lie to you, since we already talked about this idea of this magical Zelda game that I want, right? A little more linear, right?
Yes.
I call it the Hero of Time. Legend of Zelda Hero of Time would be incredible.
Kind of ironic because Twilight Princess is kind of the vein of this, and it would literally be like a prequel.
It would be a prequel to Twilight Princess, which I also think would be badass.
That'd be insane,
so
bro.
Sick. Literally like a fusion of the styles of Twilight Princess and even Ocarina.
Can I provoke something that I just thought?
I'm not gonna say Zelda. Yes. Though.
Okay. I just want to provoke something before I hear the title. Then is that what if Nintendo did something that would be crazy, okay? And Caleb's been theorizing this idea for a minute, but actually fully realizing the art direction of Twilight Princess, okay? But obviously we got better tech now, so making it kind of a
little
dark,
realism.
Yeah, and maybe beyond, maybe not just realism, just darker toned.
What about
think about like now from the time we've had Twilight Princess to now, we have had the entirety of the Soul series. Okay,
that's such
that
a cool
could
idea.
Influence.
Oh my god, kind of like
so much.
That tech demo of Link fighting the
Goma.
Goma.
Yes, bro.
That would be such.
Could you imagine if it was in a Souls-like vein?
I think that is actually an incredible idea. Oh my gosh. What about
that would
Hero
be
of Time?
Nuts, huh?
What if it was that style?
Yeah.
Hero of Time, it's like still got that anime aspect.
Because that would kind of go in
like Final
with
Fantasy,
how he teaches Link how to actually move.
Remake and Rebirth, the way those are realistic while also maintaining anime. I think you could do something crazy with the Switch. I was going to say something different though.
Let me hear it.
Okay. I don't know if you know this about me. I don't know if you know this at all.
Really?
Actually.
You're not fucking with me?
I'm not fucking at all. One of my favorite games that I wanted a remake of, all throughout the Switch. When the Switch was first announced, there were like 5 games that came to my head when it came to the controls, how it works, and what I played the shit out of. A Nintendo Switch F-Zero would genuinely, like, we're talking, if the Nintendo Switch has PS4 level graphics, we are going insane on the textures, the shading, the story mode, like having this almost like kind of like a little goofy feeling, kind of like a Yakuza type serious style story
for
with
sure,
also
like exaggerated.
The humor, the humor still kind of being there from GX.
Yes.
And just going all out on a fucking launch title.
I am fully on board.
F-Zero FX, call it F-Zero Acceleration with an
Accelerate.
Accelerate. XLR8. And that's the new type of engine that they just put in
R8. I like that.
XLR8.
Yeah.
Accelerate.
Okay.
So it'd be called freaking
I'm going to write it down so I don't forget.
XLR8.
Yeah.
Accelerate.
F-Zero Accelerate.
XLR8.
Wait.
What the fuck?
It would be like an R8.
Yeah, I was even going to say XL:R-8.
Oh, I see exactly what you're saying. Here, let me rewrite it better. So we got XL-R8
with a dash.
Or it could even be a dash here.
Yeah.
Right? I like that a lot.
Come on, bro.
That's crazy.
I would go crazy for that. And give me a story mode like GX. GX had an awesome story mode.
Yeah.
It wasn't even that much, but it was enough where every character got a moment to shine.
I just want to know more about Doug.
Fleshing out,
That's what I'm
fleshing
saying.
out Doug, dude. Flesh out Doug, flesh out Blood Falcon,
Yes.
flesh out Samurai Goro, Samurai.
I think it would be so sick, bro. Especially if they
the world of Big Blue,
you know,
bro,
it's not the same dev, but like let's open up our mind here, and it's within Nintendo, right? But watching how Sakurai took a very simplistic format for Kid Icarus and opened it up. I mean, you know how different Uprising is. There's all these different segments.
Yeah.
So what if they added something like that?
Weapons
to F-Zero
to your car.
The characters are so cool. Why do they just have to race?
Yeah, I agree.
Right? Even though
I'm 100%.
Here's where I'm at. All I care about is the racing. So the extra would just be cool.
I was gonna say, what if there's a mode, or like there's a hub world or something, or a Persona style story?
Okay,
where you could go to different races
for
and shit
sure.
like that. Bro, what if they did that with Doug as Captain Falcon?
It's like comic book style?
Yes, bro. Even like, something
that'd be
like
sick.
That. Go crazy with it.
That would be sick.
Go crazy with it.
I'm very
I was gonna say that,
on
or
board.
I was literally
what else?
really connecting with another one.
Okay.
I played the shit out of Wii Punch-Out. Like, my whole family went crazy on Wii Punch. We used to do 1v1s. We used to do 1v1s in Punch-Out. My older sibling got all the way to the end game. There's a second route where you defend your title. It's called Title Defense.
Okay.
And the sound of the words title defense is so awesome because every enemy that you face, Glass Joe, Von Kaiser, freaking Disco Kid, King Hippo, all of them get a fucking buff, and they all get something where you can exploit every single character in every single fight. That's kind of the cool part of it. Either all of them have like ticks or something they do where you can jab and get a star punch, right? And 3 star punches is an instant KO.
Oh,
and there's so much awesome tech.
So that
to
tech
that
from
game.
Smash literally is like
it's from Punch Out. Gigamac, his final smash is the it's like an upgrade he gets. It's like literally you go Gigamac, you can fight Gigamac. In multiplayer, it's like your ultimate basically.
Okay.
And when you're like that, you're a fucking massive hulking dude, and the other people fighting against you are just tiny, bro. It's so fucking tough. Switch would be perfect for it because it's got you could do physical controls or a controller. I played a controller after I got a little older with Punch Out, but do some more funny characters. They did a lot of just iconic fucking characters in that story. So just
I could see a lot of crossover into it, right?
Oh yeah, well you could fight Donkey Kong at one point in
That's
Punch
what I mean.
Out.
Yeah, we have so much set up now already for Nintendo, so they could throw in like crazy IPs.
Do some shit.
That'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
Let it come out with the new F-Zero, and then boom.
Yeah,
Captain Falcon is one of the people you fight.
I'm really leaning towards F-Zero.
I am too.
Strictly because I'm kind of just over the current state of Mario Kart. Okay, and I have been for a minute notoriously, but I just have had more peak fun personally with Mario Kart. And I get that maybe I'm a lone wolf on this because there's a lot of people I know that love Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and I respect.
Deluxe is so good.
I respect. I really do. But I personally just have a hole in a racing game. I either want a brand new Mario Kart, okay? Like new Mario engine, Kart new 9. Everything, right? Yeah, Mario Kart 9, Mario Kart X. I don't care, right? Mario Kart Switch 2.
Ooh.
Or F-Zero. That's where I'm at.
I'm thinking F-Zero.
And personally, F-Zero sounds way better anyway to me right now. I'm kind of just over Mario Kart's formula. Personally, I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's just always been. I cannot say the same about Smash.
No,
but,
absolutely not.
You know what I'm saying?
I think they could go crazy in a Mario Kart 9, though. They could do kind of a Smash level of crazy characters in there. You could throw Pac-Man in there. You could do... Mario Kart 9 could be a deluxe version where every character that was ever in any Mario Kart is in it, including the arcade version. So you'd have that little drum from Namco, the fucking Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, shit like that. You could go crazy. Like Call it Mario Kart 9. Boom.
I like X. Let's do X.
All right, fine.
The new Mario Kart.
X,
Let's
know. Oh, and there could be X2.
X2.
Mario Kart X2.
Joshy.
Talk to me.
Excuse me.
You're
Let's let's launch.
Let's launch it.
Let's launch our rendezvous right now, my man, which notoriously just stands for simply catching up.
Catching up, baby.
So I think we have something in common this catch up.
Yes, we do.
You and I have been playing Astro Bot.
That's right, buddy.
I'm so excited to talk about this because everything, I'll just start by saying everything you have ever said about Astro's Playroom, which you showed me a bunch of today, and I'm really, that's my first time seeing it in person.
Wow.
Yeah. Really cool. Really cool. But Astro Bot, everything you've said for your love for this series is absolutely true. It is the Odyssey for PlayStation.
It absolutely
and
is.
kind of beyond in a way because Odyssey brings a lot of Mario nostalgia.
Yeah.
But this is like
everything.
This is top tier PlayStation nostalgia.
There's top tier 3D platform.
There's top tier 3D platforming
nostalgia even too,
dude.
Because we're talking one of the best platformers that takes elements from everything. I'm not kidding, and I'm talking everything. I got a lot of vibes of Kirby and the Forgotten Lands. I got a lot of vibes of Odyssey. I got a lot of similar vibes to even just like the way the vibe of each level is so different, and yet it inspires some like feeling like you've been there before.
Yes.
You know, while also not never being there. It's like perfectly done. I was talking about this with my manager, Pat, where he was asking me, he's like, yo, any like games you're playing right now? I was like, dude, I'm about to be playing the shit out of Astro Bot,
yes,
dude.
sir.
Like, this is about to be one of my favorite games ever. Like, I'm not kidding. I could rave about Astro's Playroom. That's how huge I am. You saw how much I got into it.
It's actually more extensive than I thought. There's like 8 levels.
There's
like fully playable.
So each level is broken into like 4 levels, kind of, which you can teleport to, and there's 4 levels.
Yes.
Remember, there's cooling
like
springs,
16 then.
CPU jungle, SST highway, speedway, and then the other one is SST.
Memory
Meadows. Yeah. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, memory. So it's showing off the PlayStation 5, which is all it needed to do. Like, that's all it needed to do. But it went so above and beyond.
It went so hard, bro.
Genuinely.
Yeah.
And for what reason? Because...
That's what I'm saying.
No,
just because of the wonderful things he does. No. Glad we all know the story.
Yeah,
Joshy, what is your take then from all the hype you've had for Astro Bot coming off of Astro's Playroom?
So I made it apparent and a point that I wasn't going to start Astro Bot until I made sure I had all the trophies that they just updated Astro's Playroom with, because of how much I love that game.
I can't
Astro's
believe
Playroom.
You did that, by the way.
There are 4
very respectable.
unique characters that you can get from Astro's Playroom.
One of them being the Bloodborne Hunter, my guy. Are you serious?
Yeah, that shit is so tough.
Yeah, when you showed me the little the list and they showed the characters, first I saw ultra rare trophies. You're one of 0.1%, to have these. And then the top was something like, you said you have to, you literally said out loud something like you have to hunt them, right?
They are literally,
and the top says the hunted. And it's literally the hunter, right? I'm like, no way.
That shit is so tough. I'm not kidding. I genuinely, I wouldn't have been able to do it, to be honest, without the YouTube videos, because they made them so hard
you mentioned
to figure
that.
out.
So what's an example?
So there are multiple puzzles, 4 puzzles to figure out each 4 character, and then even when you find them, you have to bring them something. I'll give you an example: the Ape Escape monkey guy.
Okay. Yeah.
To get to him, you had to basically, you know those things that you pick up and throw? You picked up one earlier. You have to go through the entire level, pull little strings to be able to make sure all the cables are all connected, so all the islands are together, right?
Okay.
Then you have to go to the beginning of the level, pick the thing out of the ground, because that's the only one in the level, go all the way to the front, avoiding obstacles, because if you get hit, you die once, and if you get hit, you drop your shit. Even by something that doesn't kill you. Like, they blow air and cans will hit you. If a can hits you, you lose your thing. So, you gotta shoot it and bring it to the specific spot, throw it at the specific spot. The monkey will show up, and then you have to go later in the game, punch the specific tree that will drop a case of bananas. You bring those bananas over back to the monkey, and the monkey will start dancing, and you have to mimic all his dances.
What?
I'm not joking. You have to mimic, you know how you click all those dances? You have to mimic his dances, and if you mess up, you have to go back and get the bananas again, come back. I messed up 3 times.
Shut up.
I swear to gosh,
That's
bro.
actually really annoying.
So literally, finally when I got it, it felt great, but how the fuck was I gonna figure that out on my own? I genuinely couldn't. I don't know how anyone figured it out. I gotta say, goofy. It's fucking goofy the way they did that, but it was gratifying as fuck.
Fuck yeah.
Getting that kind of like little detail, it felt like something you'd read in like a Nintendo Power to get like a secret character.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, bro.
Like that's the kind of nostalgic like vibe that Astrobot brings. It treats the gamer like it's a real gamer. Like that part this morning when I was playing it and you were like, "Ooh, it's somewhere in this room." And I was like, "Yeah, I got it." And I knocked all the torches off and you were like,
instantly.
"You're a gamer, bro.
Yeah,
You knew what the fuck to do."
This guy's literally a
because
fucking gamer.
It's those exactly, but the game is catering towards old school gamers, the gamer. And I'm not kidding. The last time I felt something this crazy was probably like Odyssey, but even Odyssey was so new, and so this is like this. It's a game for everyone. It's like a throwback game that is bringing every single PlayStation IP ever into one like game.
Yeah,
like, this shit is crazy.
And it's genuinely fun.
So
it's genuinely challenging.
Yes.
I mean, just from where I'm at, which I've completed, by the way, just the first world. Like you can see right on the main world, there's like star, you know, like formation, constellations, right? Constellations. So like the top one, I think is a monkey, right?
It's an ape,
yeah. Like, so I beat that world. I think we 100%ed everything there because we're trying to like do that as we go, right? Yeah. So now we're at the second world, and dude, I love the feeling, especially in, I think, good game design, and I think Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Kazooie does it extremely well in the 64 of like kind of, you have like an area immediately in the hub world and you have levels there, okay? And each level within it tells you directly which one you like, kind of that they level up naturally in difficulty. Yes. But then you get to the next area and you feel the difference, right? You feel the enemies get harder.
I love that.
You feel, and it doesn't tell you
shit, baby.
Exactly.
That's how you do it.
It's game design, and it's so
just game
well.
design.
So already I feel that playing on the second world. I'm like, oh my gosh. And even last night I was kind of working on the podcast and Kendall's playing. Yeah. And she's literally dying left and right, and she's like, "Oh, why is this so hard now?" You know, that's the gamer, bro.
That's the game.
Which, by the way, she is so good.
She 100%ed Super Mario 64.
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
She can do
okay,
it.
yeah,
she can do it.
Yeah. No,
it's
I'm definitely wanting to give her playtime on these platforming games because that's definitely the game she grew up with.
Oh yeah, and I bet you she's feeling that nostalgia even from less.
She thinks
less
it's adorable.
3D. Bro,
she loves
it is. I love Astro. Like
I love
they
it.
made such a unique but like iconic looking character that is adorable. And even with like, I am so sick of Minions. I hate that vibe of
we
like
talked
a
about
bunch
this,
of like
and I actually want to echo.
identical characters.
Yeah.
I am so sick of it. It's the rabbits thing. They're annoying. They feel childish.
Yes.
But this is so well done. Every single little Astrobot, like little bot, is so adorable in their own ways, have so much character, and feel so alive in this game that it genuinely like is better than most games I've ever seen.
I completely agree. You know how in the Pokemon games, and you know how I'm a huge Pokemon fan.
Of course.
But you know I didn't really like fuck with the Ami stuff.
Right.
Like, I really like...
I did though. I love that shit.
I know, right? And there's few things that did stick with me from... Bless you, bro. That's beautiful. From the Pokemon series, which, like, you know what I did love? I loved Ruby and Sapphire. It had the candy blocks. Oh, yeah. And then you make candy, and you feed it to a Pokemon, they do the contest.
Did you play Gen 4? They did the same thing, but with dolphins. Remember when you had to stir them, you couldn't.
Oh, you know what? I did do that, and I actually really liked the stirring thing. Yeah, that was really cool.
So much fun.
Yeah, that was better.
Because that was also the DS too.
Yeah,
I had so many scratches on my DS.
So there's some games I really liked, but like, I know, bro.
I had like a circle because I just
all the time.
Yeah.
I also really liked in Gen 4, by the way, how they handled the item radar. Item finder, right?
Yeah.
And like the direction using
on your little
touchpad. Yeah, it was really cool.
I love it.
I like that a lot.
Great stuff.
So, you know that not everything sticks with me, especially in quirky minigame-esque, right? I love everything about Astrobot and how it's handling everything.
Oh my gosh.
I love
peak.
the bots. I love them, dude. They're so funny. They're adorable.
They're adorable. They're funny. They just have this sense of like actual like being a real little character.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love it. So deeply.
It makes me want them in real life, right? Like,
yeah, bro. I want a little guy.
If I had little Astrobots running around and they're like my
so
friends,
cute,
and they're
dude.
just like, yeah, it's adorable, bro. And so I'm sitting there,
yeah,
like,
you throwing them up. I do it every time I get one. I just zoom in, flip them up.
Have to,
have
fun. To, bro. Yeah,
genuinely,
it's hilarious. Fun. And so the fact that I'm doing that surprises me.
Yeah.
You know what I
mean?
mean?
Were you not expecting this game to be as crazy as it is?
Well, it's not that. You did paint a good picture, and I do trust your judgment. And, listen, bro, the reviews were insane.
Yeah,
the reviews the day of. I don't think we talked about this last episode, because I think it just dropped
We
in
did
between.
talk about it a little bit.
We did, okay.
Yeah, and I read you the reviews, remember?
The reviews were insane.
Yeah.
The reviews, and so I think I looked after, and all of the reviews are 9s and 10s.
They're saying it's one of the best 3D platformers.
Yes. So,
and the best 3D platformer on the PlayStation.
So the reason, I got it, because I haven't even gotten a PS5 game in a minute. I still haven't gotten Rebirth. I haven't bought it yet.
True.
Yeah. But I read all this. I was inspired. I'm running through a list of games for Kendall, and I probably ran through 14 total games between the Switch and PS5. And on Astrobot, she's like, what is it? And I kind of describe it for a second. She's like, yep, that's the one. So we've been playing that, bro.
I love it.
It's amazing.
I think it's awesome.
It's actually incredible.
I'm all about I think Astrobot just brings that, like we said, that love, that feeling of just like, I'm a gamer, man. I'm playing this. I love the vibe so much. It's genuinely so sweet, so special.
So sweet, bro.
Love it.
So thank you for introducing Astrobot to me, bro.
Of course.
Is there anything else you want to catch up on gaming-wise?
Gaming-wise.
I know you're playing Xenosaga 3.
Yeah, I played a little bit more Xenosaga 3. I said a little bit in pregame, just I've been busy, just working a lot, and that's, of course, that's expected. Yeah. Everyone has to work. Absolutely. But I've finally been able to play a little bit of it, and I just am having this kind of realization. I gotta jump pretty far into it. I gotta get into it at least one last time, get lost in the sauce, and just fully dive into this game. I don't think fully, because also when I was playing Xenosaga Episode 1, I was also playing Palworld, and that new update that came out. So I think I can juggle Astrobot and Xenosaga 3, as long as that's kind of the only ones I'm doing. Since then, though, I have watched all of Demon Slayer Season 4 and 5, which I loved so much, obviously. But I kind of took a little break from Xenosaga so I could kind of fall into that again, too, which... I do want to say really quick, I think I have said on the podcast already, but those last 2 seasons of Demon Slayer, I adored. I thought the Swordsmith Village was so epic. I think epic. I heard a lot of negative things, to be honest with you.
Seriously?
I did. From Swordsmith Village, people are saying it's not as good as Entertainment District, all this stuff. And I was not a part of that crowd at all. I was hooked the entire time. I loved every second, every reveal, all the backstories. The 2 Hashira that we really explore became 2 of my favorite Hashira. I love, what the hell is his name? I say it every...
Mist Hashira?
Yeah, Tokoyami. No.
It might be. Yeah, I think it's Tokoyami.
Tokoyami. And then Mitsuri. I love her. She's great. I just love their whole stories. I love that idea of, it's so quick, but it's so simple. Mitsuri, embracing who she is and not, changing for other people. And just kind of, seeing that there is strength in being different. And there is power in what you decide to give power. If you want to, focus on what others do and color your hair a different color or surpass your strength or your appetite for other people, I mean, that's something that you can do, but are you going to really be happy? And Mitsuri just goes into that, and I love that whole part. I love everything about it. And Adrel really resonates with Tokoyami because... well, first off, he's a twin, but also Adrel just loves that idea of being embracing that idea of who you are and truly caring, and really putting your heart in, even in a world that will try to stomp on it. Just like allowing yourself to be loving and care and put your yourself over others. Oh, sorry. Put your others over yourself. Yeah, and not always worrying about putting yourself over others. Great theme of the show.
Leo just talks about that all the time.
Great idea, and I just thought it was incredible. So I'm going to be back on Xenosaga, but I had to take a quick break.
We're watching Dangan right now, right? Danganronpa, which is awesome. Truly does a great job so far, really hammering in all the main points. Like, my biggest worry, like I said, going into it is like, okay, it's 13 episodes, and there's a lot of lore behind Danganronpa and how it tells its story. It starts with 13 fully named characters, okay?
With designs that are
they're all
there.
Whack. So it throws a lot in your face, and in playing through the series, every time it's like this feeling of overwhelmed at the beginning. And then you get used to what setting it has painted. Like the first game, it's a school. Second game, it's in on the beach.
Right.
The third game, it's in like a futuristic like facility of some kind, right? And there's purpose in everything. It's all. If anything, I was just worried that in watching the anime, you would miss things, right? How could it possibly like paint this 45, 50 hour novel game? How could it paint this so well? Because I felt like, sure, you could have extra side conversations, but the way the game is, I couldn't see it being a show.
Being an anime.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, because there's so many moments, the little things mean a lot.
Yes.
And a lot of visual novels have that idea.
Like Steins Gate.
Yeah,
Same
Steins
thing.
Gate. I never watched, though. I never seen that one.
I
which
really
I definitely
want to watch
to.
it to have. I've heard the anime is incredible. So
Yeah, I've heard too.
My hunch is that I'm really going to like it. Yeah, but I've played through the game. Josh, I've played through Steins Gate 3 times.
No way.
Fully.
Holy crap. So you know it well.
Yes.
So to kind of relate to that, I've been thinking a lot about I Always Am. Drew's visual novel I thought was incredible. Monochrome Stage 3.
Shout out.
Huge shout outs. One of the coolest visual novels I've ever gotten to play because of the way that it connects with an already existing story and expanding on every single character because you are the one doing the questions.
Right.
The thing is, though, I don't know how it could be a show, because of how deeply rooted in each individual story you choose.
That's what I mean, bro.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like that's and the whole story takes place over a year, and every single outcome in this one changes depending on what you've chosen. And Drew has explained to me, who's the creator of this, that the idea moving forward, because it's not the end of the story, continuing, is understanding that the character had been there for an entire year. So every character interaction that he did happened, right? If that makes sense.
Yes.
So it's really fascinating because the deeper you dive, the more of the story you're truly getting, and the deeper you can know these characters. And there's really nothing like it out there. There really is nothing like it. Huge shout out to Monochrome. My little brother made it. He's
shout outs to Drewski.
Yeah, it's on MSPFA. Check it out.
.com. MSPFA.com. That's right. Joshy, do you mind if we break?
Let's break.
And let's come back. And we got news this week?
To be honest, I didn't see anything too crazy, but I did pull up some articles.
Okay. I got some articles pulled up too, just in case.
We probably have some ones.
We might have ones that are like kind of similar, but I do at least have patch notes. So,
okay. Yeah, we'll get back into it.
Boom. Thank you. It actually, I kind of just forgotten about it now, which is
good.
Awesome.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, Joshy.
Yes.
Let's dive back in here.
Let's dive.
Right? We are about to dive into the news, my guy. Right? So, as we formally do for our first main segment here.
Yes.
Let's do the jingle.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, baby.
The jingle.
The jingle. NEWSFLASH.
Newsflash. Hey, newsflash.
Oi, he got some news. Give me some news, man.
Newsflash.
Oh, I really we got some news. Boom. Welcome to NEWSFLASH.
Welcome in, everyone.
No. I had to do it for the Joshimation Station, baby. Joshy, what do you got in store for us?
Yeah, we got a couple
the NEWSFLASH.
It seems like kind of some of the heavy-hitting news stuff is a little
subsiding
bit.
a little bit.
Subsided.
Nice.
Which is
makes me
cool.
happy.
But I have a couple cool announcements for something that you and I very much like, and I can't wait to tell you.
Okay.
Because this is very exciting. So, just in the news as of recently, we have been hearing for a while. We got a trailer for the new season of Solo Leveling.
Yes.
But we finally got an airing date. Sort of.
Okay.
We haven't gotten the day, but we have a date set. Solo Leveling Season 2 is coming in January. They just had a big announcement. They announced some stuff for Solo Leveling, and then I think they announced a couple things for JJK. They're doing like a theatrical release of Hidden Inventory, which is really exciting.
When's that?
I don't know. I think they said...
When you find out, let me know.
Yeah, I think they said next year.
Okay.
A lot of this stuff is for next year. So January, obviously, Solo Leveling Season 2 is coming out. So that gives you a lot of time to catch up.
That is, yeah.
Perfect, right?
I definitely will.
Another thing announced with that bunch of stuff was an anime movie for Solo Leveling. It's not new stuff. It's just reworked the first season into... the end. I think it's just the end of the or some kind of recap of the first season, kind of the way Demon Slayer does it. You know how they'll do those movies where it's the end of the show and then leading into the first two episodes of the
I kind of like it. Sometimes some anime will even they'll reanimate it a little bit.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah. And sometimes you've pointed out when there's a studio change or when they have really just updated and gotten more budget. So now they're reanimating this stuff and it's just a little better quality.
Yeah, One Piece does that. I love that shit so much. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's so awesome.
I've
really learned see I think I just really growing up without really anime influence much, aside Pokemon maybe. Sure. So maybe a little bit.
But, a little Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I don't know. I really think I am more drawn towards serious shows, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. Maybe something cyberpunk-esque for an anime example.
Oh yeah.
Or AOT's great because there's no filler, right?
Oh yeah.
I think I've really learned to appreciate thoughtful filler, okay? And I think One Piece.
Sorry, buddy.
Hey, we're there, baby. I think I've heard One Piece does that, and so does there was some filler.
Mean thoughtful filler?
There's two ways I can go about it. One is kind of an arc that kind of just has a lot of memorable characters in it, even if it's not canon, even if they're totally forgotten.
Totally.
It's an extra appreciation. It's DLC.
Sure.
Right?
Oh, yeah, or an uncanon movie. You ever seen those anime uncanon?
No, dude, I actually really want to watch that One Piece movie completely. That
Stampede.
Stampede. Yeah. I think we should watch that.
That's got everyone... Yeah, I'm not crazy about the movies, just because, they are, at the end of the day, filler. But they're fun. They're pretty fun, especially if you're kind of into One Piece or you're trying to get into One Piece.
Yeah.
Stampede for sure has a lot of characters.
Yes.
It's got essentially everyone, besides some big endgame dogs that they show.
Okay.
So it's good though. Yeah. It's really good.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about that. So I'm not too crazy about the solo. I'm probably not going to see it again. The recap of the first season and then into the second seasons. But
it just depends on how they do it.
Yeah, if they reanimate, make it crazy. Yeah, I mean, but already season 1 is so well animated.
Right.
It's you don't really need to do much. So yeah.
Yeah.
This is really cool.
That's big hype.
Yes, sir.
You got anything else for us?
Yeah, I got one really quickly.
Okay.
This guy I found, his name is Enox Tag. I don't really know how to say his name, but he's a YouTuber.
Okay.
He's got 5.8 million followers on Instagram, and then for YouTube, I forget. I think he has 1 million. Or
wow.
Oh my God, it's 8.4 million. Subs on YouTube.
Yeah, that's a
lot of people.
Dramatic.
So this guy, he's kind of he kind of chases he's pretty cool. He kind of does big things for YouTube. He does a lot of traveling. He does crazy kind of going to a certain place type of YouTube. Sure. Pretty cool. He's a huge One Piece fan, though, and he just hiked to the top of Mount Everest for a YouTube video and wore a straw hat the entire time. So he brought a straw hat to the top of Mount Everest, and he took a bunch of pictures.
Really?
I think he has some on his Instagram. Yeah, so here's
That's
a picture
sick.
he posted. It's him with the straw hat on, doing the One Piece pose.
Wow.
Which is pretty hype. Seriously, really cool. But just a little example of how large the reach of One Piece and the fandom kind of reaches to. Man. You know, something as cool as someone referencing One Piece on the highest mountain that humans can.
That is literally insane.
It's pretty cool, right? So that's pretty cool.
I'm not able to think of like anything that's crazy.
It's pretty wild,
man.
Right?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I don't know what competes with that.
No, I mean
that's
pretty
hard.
Sick stuff, huh?
That's amazing. If I was Oda, sorry. I would be I'd be so proud, bro.
Oh yeah.
You know
like, he is.
That would be
because he's working on the season 2 right now. He's doing the freaking incredible.
Oh yeah.
The manga is insane right now. It's so good.
Yeah.
So that's really exciting.
Sure.
That's what I got.
For sure, man.
So yeah, that's kind of what
what
I felt was sticking out to me.
Cool.
There were a couple things, but a couple things in the gaming area that I just wasn't really too interested in.
To be honest with you, I usually graze like just the top of the news like on Mondays.
Yeah.
And really not much. That like stuff that's maybe like controversial just to start a conversation.
Yeah.
I did find something that I did think was interesting though. Okay. The headline from IGN, what's the name? I'm sorry.
IGN?
Author? Yeah, the author.
Oh, the author.
Ryan Dinsdale had an article in IGN.
His last name is Dimsdale?
Dinsdale.
Oh. Did you ever watch Fairly Odd Parents?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know Doug? Oh no, they live in Dimsdale.
They live in Dimsdale.
But I was thinking of Dimmadome.
Dinkelberg.
It was Doug Dimmadome, home of the Dimsdale Dimmadome.
Yes, bro, I do remember
Doug Dimmadome, home of the Dimsdale Dimmadome? That's right. So you're going to let all my friends go? Not right.
I forgot they existed, bro.
He's got the huge hat. And it goes off
huge,
the screen.
bro.
Yeah, it's like so
everything is so dramatic.
My name's Doug Dimmadome, home of the Dimsdale Dimmadome.
Oh my gosh. All right. So title here is The Pokemon Company Wins $15 million copyright lawsuit against the game that copied Pokemon characters.
We're not talking Pal World.
We are not. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So we're talking about, it's reported by GamesBiz, allegedly. I'm just going to kind of brief the article.
This is exciting.
So this has been a translated article. Okay, Pokemon Company announced its success in the lawsuit over Pocket Monster reissue, also known as Kure Yao Guai Fuke. I'm not kidding, bro. That is a long word. That's like 15 letters, bro.
No way.
A turn-based role-playing mobile game alleged to include characters such as Ash Ketchum and Pikachu.
What?
The Shenzhen Intermediate People's Court has acknowledged the copyright infringement and ordered one of the 6 companies accused to pay 107 million Chinese yuan, around $15 million in damages. Wow. 3 of the remaining 6 companies were ordered to bear joint liability but have filed an appeal.
Wow. Look at that. So this is exciting news for me. You know why?
Why?
Well, clearly that's just copyright infringement, right? But see, Pokemon is willing to go through a lawsuit if something is unfair and unjust. That's not something they're not willing to do.
Right.
They are very willing to do it.
Absolutely.
Which is just the final nail in the coffin for any kind of rumor that Pal World in some way copied Nintendo. Because they didn't. If there was any kind of copying, any kind of model stealing, or some kind of evidence like that, like some people were trying to theorize, right? Then legal action would have been taken.
Right.
But guess what? It fucking didn't.
It fucking didn't.
So guess what?
Yes.
There's no copying at all when it comes to Power.
And here's the deal.
Is an original game.
Is that
I don't give a damn.
This is pretty extreme. So I just briefed the article. Okay. Yes. The game featured seemingly unaltered Pikachu artwork.
Oh boy.
Directly from the Pokemon Yellow box as the app icon, while branding the game featured Ash Ketchum, Pikachu, Tepig, and Oshawott, all completely unaltered. So they're just the original Pokemon.
So here's what I know about. This is a Chinese company that released this game. I just watched a video recently because there was something similar. It was called like Super Mario like Takedown or something. Or Super Brothers Takedown, something like that.
Okay.
And it was on the App Store, the Chinese App Store, right?
Okay.
And it's kind of like a business model to have a business that like changes its name after a while and puts up like illegal copyrighted stuff, sells it as a game, makes it with a gotcha mechanic, so they could possibly, before it takes time for them to like take it down on the App Store, they could make their money back for how much it costed for the game before they get hit with any kind of lawsuit, which is a crazy idea, but it just reminds me of that freaking Mario game. There was a Mario game where they did this the same thing. Used Mario, used Peach, used Link, used all these characters.
There was, bro.
Yeah, and they took it down. Right. But they made their money back, basically.
Right.
Now,
well, because here's the big deal here with this and why the payout for damages is so large, bro. Right. It's because this is a paid app. So they're literally profiting directly up front on Pokemon's IP, bro.
Yeah.
So that's exactly it, right? Like it's like Power World is this is an example now, so there's no more conversation.
There's not a single
Power World is an example. They're huge. Yeah. That's not free.
No.
Pokemon has done nothing other than tell their own fans, chill out. We got it.
We know what's going on.
Yeah. So then there's this Chinese company. Maybe they're like, oh, they'll never know because we're in some kind of crazy market, blah, blah, blah. But, dude, in today's age, everything becomes public eventually. Yeah. So, you know, they were ruthless. They're like, yeah, no, we're going for maximum damages here. Right. At the bottom of the article also, I thought it was interesting. Apparently in 2021, this is an example of the Pokemon Company also just directly doing a cease and desist and not asking for a payout because there was no profit being made.
Right.
But this was a fan project called Pokemon Uranium. I think I've heard of this. I think there was a big YouTube video like kind of broadcasting how big this project was because this ceased after 9 years of development.
Wow.
Could you imagine? That's crazy.
That's crazy.
And in 2022, the Pokemon Company removed almost all videos of a fan-made Pokemon hunting FPS that went viral on YouTube and social media.
Which is so funny because people started talking about Power World when it came to that. People were talking about a first-person shooter Pokemon after that demo thing came out. And it actually stirred up a lot of buzz for Power World.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Which is so funny.
Right.
Just more examples that, Power World has not done anything wrong.
No, bro. Like, yeah, absolutely, man. Like, this is, it's just nuts, right? In fact, just brought up something real quick.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of this footage of these, like, new Pokemon ROMs that are, like, out now?
Oh, right? Like the
I showed you that
Gold
one.
And Silver.
Yeah, but it was Ruby and Sapphire.
Ruby and Sapphire
redone in the style of Gold and Silver.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
So I heard about it and was like, well, that sounds crazy. Why would they do that? But then actually seeing it, it's like, oh my gosh, Gold and Silver really was my first Pokemon experience. I kind of really want to play it.
Yeah, try it? Oh,
yes, bro. Like, go all in. I don't know how I do it because I'm still PC-less.
Yeah, you are PC-less.
However,
you have a laptop now?
No, bro. I don't have nothing. I have a PC that I left back in Oregon.
Oh,
in my
man.
parents' attic, but I don't know. Maybe I'll use a computer, play it. We'll see. So there was another one though. I don't know if I showed you this one. It's like a new. It's also a Pokemon. It's a new kind of idea of Pokemon. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like pixel art, top down.
Yeah.
Kind of in the style of like maybe if not quite black and white, maybe like just before that, but after Diamond and Pearl. Okay. So it looks
Gold and Silver.
Yeah, but like it looks kind of flashy, you know?
Sure,
okay, here's the catch though.
What is this
in Pokemon battles, it's real time.
Oh, shit.
You have 4 moves and you use them on a battlefield. They are all on cooldowns.
No way.
And there is PP, like a PP effects. Like when it's on like the lowest, you have to let your PP build back up naturally.
Why? How's that even possible? How's that happen in real time?
This sounds crazy, bro. And it's like top down and nuts, but I'm not kidding. the feedback and reception. I've been watching people play this.
People fuck with
These YouTubers, dude, people fuck with it. It's crazy.
Let's go.
I think I should just show you a trailer right now.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm ready, Freddy.
Yeah, so what'd you think?
I thought that looked awesome.
Yeah.
I really liked the gold and silver one too. The
Emerald Sea Glass.
Sea Glass.
Yes.
I thought that looked really cool. But then you also showed me
Project Reloaded.
Which is that live combat you were describing to me, and holy heck, does that look fun!
It's
that
so
could
creative.
be such a cool style if Pokemon ever wanted to go down like that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Even
which like to give credit, that's what I think we're both excited for with ZA. That's
too,
along
bro.
those lines, and I'm excited. I think they're gonna evolve it.
I think it's going to go a little deeper too. I really hope it does. I
like
just
breaks
feel like,
boundaries of Pokemon.
Yeah, I feel like this is a really good example to make something just crazy good because I really felt like already Arceus was.
Arceus to me,
yeah,
I've said it before. I'll say it again. I stand by it. Mm-hmm. That is the definitive out of this world Pokemon experience.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's stripped a lot of what's made Pokemon modern. You know. Like,
it really did.
Like, with no abilities? Like,
battles?
Really? No natures? Wait, was there natures? I don't think there was.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. So everything is like the same.
No
it's like, what the heck?
at all.
Yeah, no multiplayer? Are you serious?
Completely single player.
The aspect, every aspect that they did do differently, they honestly just nailed, and they went all out on everything new about it.
I agree.
Right?
I thought awesome. I thought the boss fights were epic. I thought everything.
Well, it would be a dream, right? If ZA really was a yeah,
that's
and also brought it together.
Yeah,
right?
Legends.
Like brought multiplayer, bro.
Mm-hmm. Those bosses were so epic,
dude.
They literally were so out of what a normal Pokemon game would do. Almost
absolutely,
like
Souls
like,
vibes.
Oh, Jinx, you owe me $100,000 million,
bro. That was crazy. Yeah,
yeah.
Caleb was probably on that wavelength.
Yeah, he was definitely said it too.
No, definitely, bro. I forget which one. I think it was Arcanine. I was struggling.
Oh my god, that Arcanine on the star.
Yes,
you had to dodge the shots.
Yeah, the fire blast.
Yeah, you know which one actually got me though? The that Arcanine for sure got me, but the
was it Electrode?
Electrode for sure,
dude.
I was gonna say the Avalanche one. What was that one called?
Oh, Epilogue.
Epilogue. Do you remember that one? You had to dodge each like individual thing. There was like only one space, and then he did a full attack.
Oh
and,
my god!
You had to dodge, and you had to keep throwing. It took me
that whole
so
region
long.
was tough.
Yeah, that region was tough.
Yeah,
that was a tough one.
That game is honestly legendary. Highly recommend.
So fun.
Yeah, thanks for diving into that with me. I still, after all these years, Joshy, always will love Pokemon.
Yes, sir, man.
You know,
that's how we do it.
My mom told me this last Christmas when I came home. She's like, "Do you remember being a little boy and telling me that, Mom, Pokemon are real? There's Beedrill outside." I'm like, I think
do you
I
remember
do
that?
remember that.
Yeah, that's funny. I love those kind of memories.
Yeah,
I used to try to. I convinced my friend Cameron that their Pokemon were real, and I showed him all those pictures online of like edited Pokemon, like animals that look like Pokemon. I was like, dude, Pokemon are real,
dude.
And I was convinced of it. Alrighty.
All right. Well, I think it's time, Josh.
Is it time
to flirt with our main topic today?
Oh yeah, buddy.
If you are down,
I'm ready. I'm so ready.
However, you know what comes.
Oh my gosh.
As a breaking, what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
Breaking segment. All right, that's what we're going into. It is our gold tier sponsors, man. We have our list here of our very important, sponsored listeners that we want to make a priority.
That's right.
We are actually starting, the process of this business with their support.
That's right.
And we. I want to say we couldn't do this without them, but I strongly believe this podcast would not be what it is now without them. They're very much tied into our hearts on this show.
Easily.
The essence of the Flash Rose podcast. You know what I'm saying,
Josh? Oh my gosh, they are the show. No.
They are. Come on. Yeah, absolutely.
We wouldn't be here without them.
No, dude. That's what I'm saying. So let's back them up.
Let's get them up.
Start with our Flash Force real quick.
Yes.
We've got Baywatch Brad.
Big Baywatch Brad.
Baywatch Brad. He's doing all of our music. He's everything music-wise for everything we've got now is 100% Shadow Buddy music, including I've replaced also our our like proper spotlight.
Yes.
I'm calling it our epilogue now.
There you go.
But new music. I'm excited to show Joshy.
I love it.
Once we get this episode wrapped up.
I love it.
But I'm excited for all of you guys to hear that this episode. So if you got any feedback, let me know. Especially in the comment section on Spotify.
Please.
You can
and
do a
shout
comment.
out Brad for just having so much music for us.
Absolutely,
just
man.
working on that.
No, yeah, you busted ass, and I couldn't be more appreciative, man. We love you, Brad.
I love you so much, Brad.
Shadow Buddy Music. Go check him out. We got Demon Hunter, Caleb as well.
That's right.
My soul brother.
Yes.
I literally feel like a rift in my heart because him and I have spent the least amount communicating in our entire friendship.
Really?
Excuse me, probably in the last year. Truly. We both have just been on like crazy levels of busy. And our schedules almost never properly align.
Busy shit, yeah.
You know, we've always made a meme as friends too of like, damn, we getting to actually like spend time together. It's like something always comes up.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Can't wait to be gaming with Demon Hunter Caleb once again, but he's another co-host to the show. And to be honest with you, we've talked recently about trying to figure out the software to get this a remote show
I think that'd
going
be
with
awesome.
him, which would be awesome. But
he also must be very excited about today's episode, right?
oh my gosh,
Come on,
are you
back in
serious?
it.
Yeah, he has
He
no
said
idea.
some really kind things.
All he knew is it was coming soon. But yes, he did,
Yeah,
man.
he
He
said some really kind
really I think I can't remember if I mentioned it. I think we did last episode, yeah.
Maybe you
episode
told me
before,
off.
but maybe it was off cast. But regardless, Caleb, a massive shout out for basically how the fact that he is like listening to hit one of his favorite childhood games that he doesn't even truly remember a lot of the hard details, but he remembers how he felt
I don't know
playing
how
it,
he could.
right?
Holy
And he
crap.
said he was so young, bro.
Yeah.
Like he grew up with these games, right? I've seen it. He has the physical copies, right? Like I've held it. They're on his bookshelf, right? So he's always like tried to get me to get in these games, like 10 years ago.
No way.
So now he's listening to you and I as you like talk about it.
So you knew of the series before Xenoblade? You knew about it? Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, man.
Very cool.
Yeah, if anything, I think I was interested in Xenoblade initially because of Caleb.
Wow.
Because of his love for Xenosaga.
He's got to hop on Xenoblade.
Oh man. Oh, he's already told me, he's reaffirmed he is starting Xenoblade this year. But he really wants to be like dialed in.
Locked in.
He's had a lot of work shifting going on, which I think that's kind of in the air right now. I'm feeling there's a lot of change.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a season of change for everybody.
A lot of people are having a lot of change.
So prayers going out to all of our listeners.
Huge.
Right? Yeah, huge. So let's kick off this list with Azarel
Yes,
Huncho.
sir.
My man.
Big booty huncho.
Big booty Spidey, man.
Big Spidey huncho.
When he gets back in town, we will be having
we will do that
Spider-Man episode as we've been talking about.
Absolutely will.
Our hearts go out to Azzy, bro. 100%.
Huge. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
He's literally my older brother, man. He is
Let's plug it, too.
an incredible person. Yeah, he's amazing, and I'm honestly so happy that we're able to have him on that episode of Pregame, even if it was just for a little bit. It just made me so happy.
Yeah, me too.
Plug for him though. He
please.
does do YouTube. He does. His name is Azzy at Azzy X Huncho. That's AZZYXHUNCHO.
You nailed it.
Yeah, easy business.
Nailed it, baby.
Not hard at all.
No, man.
I wasn't struggling at all.
Well, speaking of struggling,
Ooh.
Daddy Mike in the house, baby.
Big Daddy Mike.
Big
dude.
Daddy Mike, you know what I mean?
Big Daddy
I don't know really where the struggle is. The struggle is probably like in like all the cars that run in your family.
Probably,
to be honest. Like I feel like you guys have always been cursed with issues of like all the cars.
That's literally how it
You
works.
know, so he understands that struggle.
We're gonna have to work on the Mercedes at home because pretty soon here we're hoping for it to cool down, but we're working on that pretty darn soon.
Yeah,
and, I'm
dude,
pretty
it's
excited about
ruthless to be working on cars right now, bro.
So, yeah, I'm excited about
I
that.
feel that. Yeah, man.
Me and him will get some one-on-one.
Big shout-outs.
Working on a dang car.
Yeah, dude.
that'll be
Yeah.
fun.
Well, I remember last time you said you guys got a lot done.
Oh yeah.
And then we recorded. That was
we
crazy.
did. I know. Literally.
Man. So speaking of father figures, though, we've got a actual dad of 5 children. That is Mikey Sandoval of the Sandoval 7. Another shout out to Tayden Sandoval as well.
Huge.
Beautiful family.
Yeah, I love Mikey. I got to see him during Kendall's fucking birthday.
Yes.
Yeah, which was so nice.
Bro.
So I finally got to see him again after a little
when
bit.
you came and visited the bar.
Yeah, man.
To be honest, Mikey's been like some of like the best moods lately.
Oh yeah,
makes me so happy to see. So
awesome.
Mikey's he's a little behind on the podcast, but when you hear this, Mikey,
oh yeah,
it's been great to see him like actually like be more himself.
Yeah, man, I love that.
Yeah, just like he's got a lot going on, as we all do. But
he's
I think,
father of 5.
Dude, he is, bro.
A loving
and
husband.
And
a
you know,
good friend.
And that's a lot. And like, you know, if I was to say that to him, I could probably hear him saying or thinking, like, I wish that's all I was thinking about. But this dude has a lot on his plate from all angles.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got a lot of pressure on his shoulder from a lot of people. You know, he's under a lot of stress all the time.
Totally.
So my...
huge shout-outs to the legend
My
himself.
prayers got to him, yeah. And just nothing but love from the Flash Bros, because this guy has a heart of pure gold.
Oh my gosh,
man.
nothing but gold.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
He's a purely heart gold.
We love you, Mikey. We also love our beloved sister, Lene Lovelady.
Yes. Big shout out
beautiful
to
shout out to her. She also has been seemingly in a better mood. I think she's a teacher.
Everyone's
so
really good.
I know, man. Yeah, it's been cool because I think I don't know if you felt it. I kind of feel like people have been going through it this year. Like I said, like a season of change.
Oh yeah.
This summer, just especially, I feel like everyone's just been kind of going through. A lot of shit has happened. Dude, there was even like that thing we talked about in pregame of like that truck going through that bar.
Oh my god,
that's crazy.
Yeah, man. That was incredibly sad.
Yeah, and I mean the fires on Superstition.
Yeah. Oh my god,
dude, that was the same night.
Was it really?
Yeah, dude. I got pictures. Actually,
busy night.
So it's awesome to see everyone kind of being uplifted right now, even lifting me up, right?
Oh yeah.
So a lot of fun this last weekend with Lene Lovelady and Mikey Sandoval. Love them both, dude.
Love them so much.
We've also got a shout out to our beloved brother Johnny Bravo.
Johnny Bravo.
That's right, baby.
Fellow co-host.
Yeah, we'll get him on very soon because we have our next gig lined up for DLC, which was honestly massively delayed, and I feel like we've had a lot delayed in the podcast right now. Just because of like organize, and well, also like, you know, I'm really I'm actually putting a lot of time into these music, right?
Oh yeah,
kind of like the envisionment and really like these are like Brad sent me like some of these songs are like 3.5 minutes, right? And so it's like, all right, obviously we can't have like a 3.5 minute intro, but
I wish we could.
There's so much content there, and it's like it feels very much like embedded. Brad's embedded into the show.
Oh man, he's a part of it.
You know,
deeply.
Sometimes some heart takes time. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, good things happen to those who wait, and that's all of us.
Beautifully said.
Waiting. Yeah,
absolutely, bro.
Come on now.
Nothing but blessings. Speaking of blessings, we are also blessed by our beautiful roommate.
Yes,
Sweet Adrell. My man.
Big Adrell.
Shout out.
Kicking it last night.
Yes,
yeah,
dude.
That was a good time.
Saw him today for a little bit too.
Yeah,
dude. Nice. Dude's in a great mood. He also has been
working.
And he says like he's finally out of a lot of like his stressful situations
all you can ask
recently,
for.
and that's amazing, bro. Yeah, he seems really happy.
I love it. Yeah, it makes me happy.
You want to give him a plug?
Yeah, please. He does. He was just streaming yesterday.
Oh yeah,
the day before yesterday. Can't remember. But he was. He streams on Twitch. It's at Sweet A. That's Sweet AYEEE.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right, baby.
And everyone knows how to spell sweet, right?
Yeah.
SWEAT. Come on.
That's sweaty.
Everyone knows it.
That's sweaty, bro. Speaking of sweaty, I'm just kidding. We've got my beautiful fiance, Queen Kendi.
Jesus. Oh my goodness. Yes.
I'm just kidding.
Shout out Big Kendall.
If anything, I'm sweaty thinking about her. You know what I'm saying?
For sure, man. For sure. I feel that big time.
Nope. Nothing but I think also her and I, not really like together. I think maybe it impacted our relationship, but we individually were going through like our own kind of like series of change and growth, and even like some weight that she started to feel just after getting engaged. Like just how your brain kind of changes, right? Sure. So right now, like she's just I feel like gotten like through like a lot of healing, and like is just in a great headspace.
Well, that makes me so happy.
Dude, me too, man. Like truly, like, and she deserves it. She deserves everything.
Everything. She does everything.
She gives her heart to so many. Seriously.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah.
She really is.
Amazing. Speaking of awesome and amazing. Ooh. Donald Duck.
Big Donald Duck.
Big Donald D, my man.
My man. My man.
The man, the myth, the legend.
The legend himself.
He exists, and we're only just waiting. Because he might be stuck in, like, what? The dark...
The...
Void?
The void?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
why not?
What were you talking about in...
The Dark Forest?
The Dark Forest.
He's in space.
He might just be waiting.
He might be the dangerous creature that's trying to get us all. And so he's trying to
Donald
get
Duck,
at us.
Is that you, bro?
Oh, Donald.
All right.
On, Donnie.
We'll see, baby.
Shout out, Donnie.
Speaking of,
Donnie.
We will see. Mama Annie in the house.
Annie, baby.
My beautiful mother. Well, we'll see this upcoming Christmas.
Oh, very beautiful.
Yes.
We're all going to be able to see our parents.
You know.
Of course.
Big support for everything I've done always, to be honest. So
always.
Could not ask for a better mother.
Could not.
Love you dearly, mother. And we've finally, Joshy, reached our main topic.
Yes.
Today, my man.
Here we are.
Which is going to be led by you.
Big Josh.
So I will let you take it away because today's main topic is on Xenosaga.
Xenosaga.
Episode 2.
Episode 2. What's the subtitle? Do you remember?
The subtitle is... I don't remember it, but I got it pulled up right here.
Mm-hmm.
It's Jenseits von Gut and Bose.
Let's see if I can say this. Jesuits von Gut und Bose.
Ooh.
Let me see.
Jenseits von Gut und Böse.
Boza.
Boza. Okay. Boza Donata.
Von Gut und Bonzoza. Very wonderful. I'm just going to take it away. I'll start getting into everything. To kind of... if you guys are curious on my thoughts on the first game and kind of everything that I share, make sure to go check that episode out. Yep. Because this will be kind of expanding on a lot of things I said in the first game.
Yes.
Which I kind of talked a little bit about the second game because I had beaten it by the time I reviewed... Or no, I hadn't beaten it by the time I reviewed the first one.
Right.
Kind of like how I am with 2 and 3 right now. So I'm reviewing it right before I've beaten 3, but I've started it.
Yes.
So...
I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, I'm really excited to get into it.
Yeah. To recap, we watched that video.
Oh, yeah.
Today, so
shout out to Xenobits for such an informative and yet compelling piece.
That, man.
This episode, obviously, you know, it's a lot more information than the first one because of just even time and the way it goes, but nonetheless just as captivating. There are some of those parts that just gave me chills, really. Like, you know, we talked about it on pregame a little bit.
Dude, it's heavy. I think the themes and like storytelling is way darker than Xenoblade.
No question about that.
No question.
I really do feel that way about the second one, especially. I haven't finished the third one. The first one has its moments. It's got, you know, some characters, Cherenkov, Captain Cherenkov. From the first game, the one that I kind of talked about a little bit. Very dark backstory and very dark kind of sad tones to it. But 2 really knocks it out of the park because in this game, we start exploring the history of Rubido, who is a URTV. And once again, I want you to ask if you have any questions because you might be posing as... one of the listeners out there. If you have any questions, make sure to ask them. I'm going to describe, as much as I'm... Journey. Yeah, I was going to say. So, we kick off this game. I'm going to kind of talk about the way it made me feel in a second, but I'm going to kind of set the picture. You and I actually started watching a couple of scenes from this intro. Yes. Right? I have said many times, I feel so bad for any child who went to Blockbuster or Family Video and got this second game before they even touched the first one. This intro is a bombardment of information and shit that happens. If you're coming right off of the first game, you absolutely will get down with what's happening for sure. Minus the possible issues you'd have with the change of the game. And there's a couple...
AKA voice acting?
The voice acting and the animations are the whole style is completely different. I'd say the first game has what I would call big eye syndrome. Everyone has very big eyes. It's a very 90s anime style, you know what I mean? The second game, they really toned that down. You could probably tell by the way Jin looks, by the way that even Chaos looked.
Yeah,
he had much bigger eyes in the first one. Even if
Jin's
you saw,
almost like a Dunban looking figure.
yeah, he kind of is.
Right?
He really is too, because he has the history while also being kind of an older brother type. Well, Dunban was literally an older brother.
Yeah.
In the game.
Yeah.
So
even Dunban's face is probably the most mature
similar,
looking.
Oh yeah, because they're like similar in age.
Yeah,
Takahashi just loves his swordsmen that are older and have fought before.
Yes.
And got injured. So we start off in a 15-year flashback.
Okay.
And we're basically following Chaos in this brand new Realian we're introduced to named Kanan during the Michelin conflict.
Kanan's design, by the way, I really like.
I like it a lot,
it's
too.
You know, classic edgy ass fucking, but red hair.
Red hair with the piercings on his ears.
Yeah,
too.
he wears it well. I like the vibe.
I am with you as well. I was a little turned off by his character because of the voice acting, which I just want to mention only gets better throughout this game. Like the end is really not comparable to the way it starts. This 15-year time flashback, that we go through is a little bogged down by the voice acting, in my opinion, but it only amps up from there.
Okay,
I'll say. So we pick up where we left off in the last game after we see this whole flashback arc. We're following again Shion, Alan. I'm going to say their names, see if you remember all of them. Junior, who's Rubido. Momo, Ziggy, and
can you remember what hair color Rubido has?
He's the red hair one.
Right.
Remember?
Okay.
So he's the most powerful one. The tattoo 666 on his hand.
You're right. Yes.
Which up until this game we had no clue what it was and what it truly was about. Right.
Right.
Because this is the origin to him. So we learn a lot about the Y data in that beginning thing. We find out that what's it called? The Lemegeton, the Song of
Super
Nephilim.
Weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the key
to it, which is the Y data, is given
and
to
isn't the
a copy
song
is given.
kind of a part of the key too?
Oh yeah, it is the key.
It is.
So that's the Y data is just
right.
digitally downloading the song, which is called
the Song of Nephilim.
That is what Joachim called it, because that was also Y data was kind of written by what's his name? The guy who used his daughter as a catalyst, Nephilim's father.
Griamore.
Oh my god, I can't believe you remember that. Griamore, fucking holy shit, that was incredible.
On it, bro.
Nice shot, dude.
Yes,
I'm so impressed.
Thank you.
Griamore.
Let's go.
It's like Griamore.
Yeah, he's the really sophisticated looking like older man.
Yeah, with the beard,
black attire.
Yeah, he did.
Like a Blackbeard.
Yeah, it was like brown, dark brown though.
Yeah, definitely looks like
so
mature,
impressed that you remember that. That is
What was his daughter's name?
Nephilim. That's who he used as a catalyst in his experiment. And
the naming schemes are insane.
Oh, and they only get better, right? Because you meet more characters, Kanan, in this game.
Right.
You obviously.
And by the way, all of these terms that are from the Bible, like right now, Kanan, these are all like Old Testament.
Oh yeah.
Lore, right?
Well, that's the kind of thing that I feel like Takahashi is chasing, is kind of the connection between those like stories and the story he's writing now. Like there is a connection between all of them, whether it just be a name or whether it be genuine characters who show up again.
Yeah.
So
his imagination is unparalleled.
It's seriously incredible.
It's incredible.
So yeah, we see this whole
let's continue.
Flashback, and it's a very jarring start for anyone who doesn't know what's going on. But for me, I thought it was really, really awesome. The mech fights, you saw a little bit of the sword play that they do.
Yes,
and
between that captain guy.
Yes, it's
right? And Jin.
Yes, it's Jin Uzuki and damn it,
something. But
yeah, you're right. It is something.
Yeah, it's something. Yeah, it's like Kamaravi almost.
Oh, it is kind of similar to that.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna look it up because
It's like with a C though, I think.
it is definitely.
Yeah. Camouflage or something. I don't know.
Let me see.
What is it?
Cherenkov.
Cherenkov.
Oh wait, no. That's not his name. Fuck.
No, it is.
No, it isn't. It's a different character.
Bro,
It's like
I think it's Cherenkov.
no, it's not because this is not him. That's not the guy.
Oh, that's not him.
Yeah, Cherenkov is the one from the first game that I couldn't remember. Margulis.
Yeah.
Margulis.
Okay.
I think I said Cherenkov when we were watching the video,
I think so.
but it was Margulis.
Okay.
So,
Got it.
Yeah, Margulis, who is a huge character in the series. He was in the first game, and he was the leader of the Immigrant Fleet, which is a religious organization that worships the Zohar and also had complete control over it and
Bless you,
loaned it to Joachim Mizrahi
Yes.
for the experiments he was going to do by finding the Y data and different stuff like that. So Cherenkov is a pretty important character, but we got to see him clash swords with Januzuki, which was pretty epic. If you
That
ask me.
was, dude.
Yeah.
More than epic. That was crazy.
That was some really good.
Very impressive.
Yeah, even the choreography, like it's very.
Yeah.
I felt like it's ahead of its time for like
No, it
an
is.
early 2000s game.
Absolutely,
like
because
Very
that's what I was
cinematic.
saying. Pre-cast
Yeah.
that I was thinking like for its time, we're looking
Yes.
at like Final Fantasy X.
Yes.
And if we're comparing, I mean, that was like the standard for a JRPG. So in just direct comparison, and it makes sense because this was the parallel Xenogears to Final Fantasy VII, right?
Absolutely.
So.
Always something
It just was so advanced with its choreography.
Yeah.
Like the cutscenes of what you see in Final Fantasy X is mouth movement, and that's kind of it.
Sure.
Even everything Xenoblade
Right.
is way more flashy. Okay?
I agree. I'm with you.
But this was like some choreography stuff, like you said.
Oh, yeah.
Like even stuff looked a little jank because of the tech, right?
Oh, of course.
But you could tell everything was thought out. Eye movement, hands, for its time, bro. This is crazy.
It's also like, it's also compelling too. Like you watch it and you can feel like actual emotion in there, which is one of the things that I love the most about Xenosaga is just how much emotion is really behind the show. Behind this game.
Behind the series.
The series itself. That's the one.
No, honestly, you feel it in everything.
Oh, absolutely.
Everything's got that heart, bro.
Absolutely.
Everything is so thoughtful.
So thoughtful.
Nothing is an accident.
It's one of the hardest parts about getting into it is just how much is important and just how much changes and just how much happens in this story. So just to move on a little bit, I just want to say my initial impression of this game was a little sullied by the change of the art style.
For sure.
I'm not as big a fan of it. I'm really not. Out of the 3 games, I think the third has the best art style.
Okay.
And
so they kind of did a switch up again?
They switched it up again and went more anime on the other side. They went kind of like... They try to do like realism,
I think after this
slightly realism.
episode, I want to like see.
I will show you. I will absolutely show you. You can see no matter what the difference between even just like Cosmos's model. This is very simple. Look, there is Cosmos from episode 2,
right,
and there's Cosmos from episode 3.
Very different,
extremely. And it put me a little bit off. It was a little off-putting. When I first,
if I'm not mistaken, this is the lowest rated of the 3 games, right?
Oh, yeah. A lot of people, honestly, I have heard, honestly, like a lot of negative things about the second one. And I want to kind of come out and say, I definitely had a much different experience than most people. Not only will I say I am emulating it, so I have the beauty of a speed up tool.
Crisp.
It also looks really nice. It looks very nice.
I can't believe how good
crispy,
it looks.
And I have a speed up button. I have the ability 2 speed up buttons actually, ×2 and ×5 basically.
Yeah.
And that changes a game,
No, it does.
Especially with the combat that it has. So, just to kind of keep going with the story that's being told, we see Xion and Cosmos and all these guys returning safe after the finale of episode 1, which was basically kind of the end of Xenoblade 2, where the place was exploding and one person had to stay behind.
Was that the speech about like the Bible quote type where he's like saying,
you're talking about Joachim?
Yeah.
No, that's from the third game. That's only when we see that. We see that slightly in the first game. But that's just like a different it's like a different situation basically.
Can you remind me of the ending of the first episode?
Yeah, it's they're basically all like lined up to try and stop this. He talks about it a little bit in the Xenobits episode, but it's a space station called the Song of Nephilim, which was made to basically like spread, literally just like play the Song of Nephilim wherever in like the atmosphere of a place and basically like destroy it from the inside.
Wow.
Essentially, it's a weapon based around the Zohar. Which is also based around like the Proto Macabre, which is the final dungeon you go through. It explodes at the end. Cosmo has to stay behind and save everybody, but she's fast enough. She gets back to the ship, and there's kind of a beautiful scene of her like carrying the ship, and like her metal pieces are all like breaking down. She has that headset, and it like starts cracking and burning. Seriously epic, and
that's crazy.
She ends standing when they land. Like in Second Miltia, which is where they're trying to go the entire first game, to bring Momo there. That's why Ziggy was hired to basically be there for them. There's this really beautiful shot at the end of the first game where it's Cosmos standing on top of the ship, her hair completely down because she has no like armor or anything, and she's just like staring at the sunset. It's this really beautiful image.
Wow.
Yeah, end of 1 was amazing. I loved the ending a lot. So we pick up from where that was. They land safely on Second Miltia. There's kind of this like internal like affair where the immigrant fleet, like I showed you that clip where they sabotage them on the freeway and they're like chasing them.
Yes,
that's when he fucking like does the slow-mo shooting of the like with the fire extinguisher. Yeah,
that was sick.
That shit was sick. And that's another example of just very cinematic cutscenes.
Extremely.
And also just like I love seeing the dynamics too, like Ziggy jumping over Momo, trying to protect her, and then Momo taking the controls. She's a good pilot, like we see from the first game.
Dude,
and she's just like weaving through everyone, and then at one point she has to go on the wall, and freaking like Junior's like, whoa, and freaking Chaos has to grab onto him.
Yes.
Just like those kind of character moments where you really do see Takahashi's charm of like Xenoblade and these characters. And how well they work together.
Totally.
Because of this, you get jumped and you kind of get your first taste of the combat, really. You get a little bit at the beginning, obviously, with Margulis versus Jin. You have a whole boss battle at the beginning. But this is the first time you get to see the characters you used before and how the combat has changed with all of them. Because my original setup was Junior, Cosmos, and who was it? Junior, Cosmos, and Chaos.
Okay.
And I broke down the way the combat worked in the first episode that we did, so go check that out if you want to know how the first one is. I'm going to dive in real quick into the way the combat in 2 works.
Yeah.
So just really quick.
Lay it out for me.
I'm going to lay it all out. So really quick, I wanted to say I was very taken aback just how most people are because it's extremely different than the first game and kind of feels unnecessary.
Okay.
A little bit of backstory about this game. Xenosaga was supposed to be 6 games in one. After the first game, they kind of played it the slow game of like, we'll do it however many games we need. But obviously, money is an important part of any kind of creating of a game series, right?
Nothing's free, bro.
Exactly. So with 2, they already had to condense a lot of plot points, and they had to release Pied Piper, which was originally going to be a part of the game, Ziggy's backstory, as a part of the game, but they released it kind of as this separate like RPG on an iPhone, basically.
Wasn't it Japan only?
It was only in Japan, and it was also like it was like something you downloaded onto this app.
Silly. Very
silly, and also unplayable now because you literally can't play it. However, this game does an incredible job of, and Takahashi in general, of referencing every little bit. Pied Piper does not feel like just some like origin comic book that they would release for Star Wars, right? Where it's like, okay, this is how Kylo Ren got his lightsaber. It's like, no, they're not going to actually reference that. That's just some fun shit made.
Right.
Pied Piper is the exact opposite. It is genuinely like a part of the story. Jan Sawyer is like brought up a lot.
Insane.
Voyager, the one who ended up killing his wife and kid, shows up again, is a character, Eric Weber, and does actually show up at the end of this game, which is one of my favorite scenes, and I can't wait to tell you a little bit about that. But I'm going to get into the combat real quick. Yeah. Because...
You're not going to say how Pied Piper ended, bro?
What?
You're not going to say how Pied Piper ended?
Do you want me to say? I can.
You have to.
Okay, yeah.
Well, because we got to assume that this is going to be full spoilers.
This is full spoilers.
Xenosaga Episode II.
Huge full spoilers.
And Pied Piper, which no one's heard of anyway.
Yeah, which no one knows about. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
it's amazing we know what we do from the research of people like Xenobits.
Yes, exactly. Huge shout out to Xenobits for that, and even what the hell is their name?
Resonant Arc.
Resonant Arc. Yeah. Huge shout out.
Which they've said many times is a alarmingly. What is it?
Which one?
Like especially Resonant Arc, right? I can't remember the guy's name.
Mike.
Oh
yeah,
he said like how exhausting.
Oh my gosh,
it is to gather info
to get back into it.
And and to discuss
I'm already feeling that because there's a couple things like you should. If you talked to me 3 weeks ago, I would never have forgotten Margulis's name, but there's a lot of information, and especially if you just worked a lot and you're not thinking about it, things slip out of your brain so easily. But he says it true too. He's like, it is one of the most rewarding things there is to experience because it's a full story that takes advantage of that fact and references everything. And the characters are built. It's like all that lore is to build these characters and the story that's happening.
And I think in your case specifically, it's you're experiencing this at such a unique time. This is just enriching your love for Xenoblade.
Oh, absolutely. And hyping me up for the next game, which is just going to be
Which insane. Takahashi himself has already said Xenoblade is not over.
Yeah, Xenoblade is not over. For sure, and that really excites me. And also, they just did a big hiring event at Monolith, and they announced publicly that they have they're working on a new RPG, and they've got a lot of stuff coming.
Launch window
2027.
Switch 2?
Maybe
2026, 25 maybe.
Hope, but
25 maybe. Like
if they're just bringing on people, if they're just bringing on people,
dude, they turned around Xenoblade 3 so fast.
Well,
they probably are.
They were working on that for a while, though.
Yeah,
they were working on that.
But you know they've been.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Right? But not
all I'll say, they just gotta cook whatever they need to cook,
dude. Cook away,
right?
Because as we know from the Xenosaga series, a bit rushed.
A little bit, for sure.
Did you feel that in this game?
This game is the game you'll feel it in.
Yeah.
This is when shit starts getting a little bit too much to ignore. Some moments that are very important to the story were even cut, and Pied Piper is one of them.
Yeah.
And I can see people even just being like, okay, well, I don't know what this means. I don't know what it means for Voyager to show up at the end. I like those moments because I know of those moments, and I know what it's referencing.
Right. But you can understand the confusion.
Oh, absolutely. If anything, I feel like it's like warranted, where if you're going to make such an important part of your story, some spin-off mobile game, then like truly like how much right do you have to not complain about it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
makes sense.
Okay, I'm gonna talk about the combat.
Okay.
I'm gonna get into it. So each character, each enemy that you fight, which you can have up to 3 at a time, actually up to 4, it can be up to even 5, so it doesn't really matter. All have a special weak point that you have to try to get.
Okay.
Basically, the way you get it is by attacking them in a specific order. So each character has an A and a B, B and a C attack, with an A attack as the special that comes only if you have stocks built up.
Okay.
So the way a battle would start, you're going to stock up every single character, which I have heard huge complaints about, where you basically have to waste a bunch of turns over and over and over stocking the characters up.
Bummer.
However, not really an issue for me when I have a speed up button that literally just means I have to press 2 buttons for a couple seconds. And it never became an issue to me. In fact, I found stocking really fun after a while. Yeah, because there's buffs you can add where stocking will add more like AP, which is basically your like attack points for ether.
Yeah.
So you can get like
Makes
up
sense.
to +5 every time you're stacking, every time you're stalking.
Okay.
Which will add up for your characters after a while, especially if you have one. I used Shion the entire game, and she was a healer. I literally used her as like an insane healer, which was really fucking fun. So to break that down for you, okay.
I also love it, by the way, when a healer is actually good in a game.
Yeah,
because healers
I
are
agree.
notoriously just not
Sometimes trash.
Right. Right. They have one job, heal. Otherwise, if anything, they're a liability.
They're a liability,
right?
Or a waste of a slot.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is unfortunate.
Like no other strength.
'Kay.
So yeah.
So I'm gonna try and break this down. So actually, some fun facts about the Xeno series. This is the first game where break appears as something you do, and then that can be
in
put
this
into
game.
topple
Was the
and
first?
launch. This is the first one.
Wow.
Yeah, and they've been doing it ever since.
Yes, they have.
They have a break
even
point.
in Chronicles X. No.
Yes,
Yeah.
breaking is a thing
Yeah.
still. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so they've been
Nice,
doing it ever
okay.
since. Yeah, very cool. All right, I'm going to try and break this down. If a combo for the enemy, which you won't be able to see, it'll say question mark, where it says their break point,
Okay.
is BC, just follow me right here. You can use multiple attacks, and you could go CC, A, or just CC, make that an attack, BB, BC, CB, CBA.
All these combinations.
All these combinations,
Yeah.
right? But there's only one combination that will break the enemy.
I see.
So if the combo is BC and you use BB, it'll flash the letters, and the one that's red means it's correct in that order.
Got it.
So if you do BB to
So you
a
can
BC,
figure it out.
exactly, which kind of became fun after a while
I
of trying
agree.
to figure it out because they get longer, and there's a couple guys where their break point, like Margulis you fight later, and he was really tough.
He's an
because
insane
his
break point.
break point is 4 letters plus A. So it was literally like you had to combo attack in order to break him in the first place. So you'd have to leave it open-ended. Instead of using a special, you would use I don't know, I think I was using Jin in that attack.
Okay.
So I did BB. It was probably like BB, CB, A.
Okay.
And I did BB with Jin, left the combo open, so you still, those Bs still stayed.
It stays.
And then used Cosmos, used that, then use the ultimate.
But you can like link them off, so
Yes.
Cosmos could do BB,
Yes.
and if that was the link,
Yes.
it would just keep going.
But some characters don't have a B or C. That's 2 characters, Momo and Shion.
what do they have?
They only have A attacks.
Really?
So, but there
I like
are some
this.
enemies that are weak to A's. And also, here's kind of a crazy part. If an enemy appears in the wild and they are only B's, you can use Shion to, those B's can be sub, or those A's can be a sub for B's. Does that make sense at all?
It does.
Okay, so you could hit a combo where it would be BBA with Shion, but only if it's B's and only if it's a special type of enemy.
Got it.
Okay,
Okay.
same thing with
I'm
Momo.
following.
Okay, you really
Can I
with
be
it? With
honest?
it? Yeah.
This sounds amazing.
Dude, this I started having so much fun with.
Yeah.
Because once you...
Because all you gotta
get
do
to
is memorize the enemy, right?
But check this out. Every time you break that specific enemy, no matter what, if you run into them again, it'll tell you what their combo thing is.
Nice.
So, when I'm running around, I literally was grinding a bunch of areas because I wanted
it's
to find
rewarding.
every single one
Yes.
so that I could fight them and then get the correct way.
Yes.
The only issue really in that whole thing is stocking. It's supposed to be set up where it's a little bit difficult to get stocks, so a battle takes a little bit of time.
I see.
Or you could just get all your stocks over.
What do you mean by stocks?
So let me break this down.
Yeah.
Every extra special attack, you know how I've been saying BB and CC and BC? That's your initial attacks. You can only use that, no special A, if you have a stock. So a stock would be a special attack. So the only way you could break, topple, launch
Excuse me.
someone would be if you had 3 stocks lined up. And you get a stock
Got
by
it.
using up a turn that's literally called stock. And you do that
Like a
you
defense.
stock up. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it was in the first game. There's no defense in this one.
Oh.
So guarding was how you stocked up in the last game. And then stocks
They
could
took
be
out
used for
guarding?
boosting. It's so different that it's weird. It's genuinely so different.
I just wonder why. That's a weird design choice.
I don't know. I really
To
don't know.
me.
There's a lot of weird design choices in 2 that
Okay.
just are a little strange.
Well, I'm still on board.
So you're with this. You get what's going
I
on.
completely understand.
So, yeah,
I mean, you
then you
know
get
personally my favorite type of game, okay?
Yeah.
Truly, at its core, it's Fire Emblem.
Oh, yeah.
It's the design philosophy of Fire Emblem. And when it's executed right, it's my favorite game. And it involves strategy, okay? And it involves these turn-based combats. It involves complex combos.
Yeah.
I love this type of gameplay.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Well, also, I think you'd enjoy it because each character really does do something different. I'm just going to read out how it works. Once you get that combo down, they enter a break. The enemies enter a break status. I'm so sorry.
No, I'm following.
Where it basically it's broken, so it can't do anything. But that's up to your remaining teammates to do something about. So if they're broken, you could additionally add one if you have stocks. But let's say you don't. You could use it onto your I almost said coworker. What the hell is it called?
Like
your teammates, your other character's fucking combo. They can continue it.
I'm like a party member?
Yes, party member.
Yeah, there you go.
One.
I was like,
so if you break them, you could continue with another
okay,
character.
but only in that same turn.
Only in that same turn. Once it becomes their turn, the break is gone.
That's it?
Yeah. So I'll break that down.
You'll break down the break.
Break down the break. So if you have 3 stocks and you're someone like Cosmos or Jin, you could basically launch someone, right?
Yeah.
If you're a character like Chaos and Ziggy, they can down an enemy, which is basically topple. Launch versus topple. Pretty explainable.
And then would that extend the duration?
Yes, it would extend it, and it would do a bunch of more damage. Basically, if you're able to continuously hit them while they're in the air.
See. What do they call
down.
this in the game? Do they call it like a combo?
Yeah, I think so.
Like breaking or
a break point, a weak point combo. A weak point combo is what they call the BCA, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then
I'm with you, bro. Okay.
So then, that's anyway.
Sick.
So that is a lot of fun. The placement of the enemies can get a little annoying because there's also
random?
Yes, and it's also directional. So if there's an enemy facing like in front of you, do you mind if I draw real quick?
Yeah.
So you do mind if I draw real quick?
No, I
I'm
do.
Just kidding. So check it out. I did this last time, so this works perfect. And I'm sorry for everyone out there, but I know Sam is like a
No, guys,
very
I'm
visual
in your
person.
seat. I got you.
That's
I am visual.
So
Thank
we
you.
have 3 party members, and it could end up just being the 3 right here, and then whatever enemies are right there, or you could be the 3 in the middle, and you could be surrounded by enemies. Let's say there's not these.
I
guys.
see.
There's like 2 over here, 2 over here. Your back is going to be facing one enemy, and back attacks do extra damage on you. So you're going to want to backslash, yeah, just like Xenoblade. So you're going to want to basically take down the people who are behind you, or continuously attack and just like help each other out.
Okay.
So there's a lot of ways that it could end up. There's also flying enemies, which are immune to B attacks, which B attacks are like physical attacks, and the other's like a shot from far away.
Okay.
That's why Shion and Momo are only able to do the B and A attacks because they're long distance. Right. So yeah, how do you feel about the combat? You feel like you get it?
I do.
Okay.
I really understand it, and
anything else is just adding on to it.
Cool.
You know how Xenoblade works, and there's not really a lot of.
Did they continually introduce things?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool.
They had this boss fight with Albedo. Do you remember this character's name?
Albedo?
Yeah, the white-haired guy, Rubido's brother, when they were little kids.
Yeah.
Who, like,
white hair, he's got
like purple eyes.
Purple eyes?
Yeah,
he does. Yeah.
And he like loses his mind because of that link that Rubido breaks with them. Udo basically infests his mind.
Crazy, so you face him.
He is the main villain of Episode 2, and he is crazy. This guy is wild. He calls Momo. He's constantly, literally, the first dungeon in the game is Albedo, who kidnapped Momo in the last game. At the end of the last game, infects her brain with his ability, basically making it so that she is like hijacked when she goes in to have her the Y data removed from her brain. So basically, Joachim Mizrahi, just get into some lore real quick.
Yeah.
Joachim Mizrahi, Momo's father, was the one who put the Y data in her before he launched her away. That's the guy who was screaming all those crazy things on top of the building before he falls to his inevitable death.
Yes. Got it.
So he leaves Momo with the Y data.
One more time in the name.
Yes. Joachim Mizrahi. Joachim. Yeah.
Mizrahi.
Which is also the name of Ziggy's son. For some reason, they have the same name, Joachim. I guess it was a popular name back in the future, I suppose.
TC.
TC, that's right. TC for
Transcend Christ.
That's right.
4-9.
4
something.
I think maybe. Anyway, so because she has the Y data in us, once we all regroup, we bring Momo to the vector, basically like Realian like headspace.
Okay.
We're working with the Galactic Federation, basically, and we're trying to get the Y data out because Albedo also knows about it, and so we're trying to keep it away from the bad guys. And the immigrant fleet is working with Albedo because he's kind of this crazy like fourth party that is he's very unpredictable and has extremely powerful abilities. He has the ability to completely heal himself. Do you remember that?
The full regeneration.
Yes, full regen.
That's so nuts.
That's something that starts his kind of downfall, is this realization that he has the ability to survive and his brothers don't.
That he's powerful.
He is powerful, and he could live without his brothers could die without him there. So he's the main villain. He's the one who he hijacks Momo's brain basically when we hook her up to this big thing. I did want to say also we are introduced on Second Miltia to Jin, and he is like modern Jin, and he is an incredible character. He has this crazy beef with his sister. It really feels like they don't really like each other that much. They go out to dinner, and she just tries to avoid him like completely. She like hides behind this plant just to try and avoid him. And when she sees him, she's like, "Oh hey, I hope my useless sister isn't just like wasting your guys' time." And they're all like, "No, she's really great. Like she saved our asses a bunch." And he's like, "No, she probably didn't." Like some shit like that. But yeah, that's all before Momo's brought in. It's just character moments that I adore.
For sure.
And I love seeing them.
It all sounds very unique.
It's very unique. You really don't see a lot of dynamics like that.
Yeah, I agree.
And it honestly just makes it one of my favorite relationships in the story because because they are evolving, especially where I'm at in 3. They really trust each other, and they're almost kind of they kind of have each other's backs a little bit more than most other people in the series right now. And I love him. I think he's such an amazing character. He's also badass. He's cool as fuck.
For sure.
So you have to infiltrate. Everyone does a UMN dive into Momo's memories, which are all connected with Rubido because she has Sakura's memories implanted into her brain, basically.
Right.
So they're able to UMM dive into her brain.
So what does UMN dive mean?
Well, it just means they would dive into your subconscious domain, but through the UMN. So you'd be able to walk around. The UMN is so much more than just a VR headset or the internet, or it's a part of the imaginary number domain.
Wow.
That's the only way it's able to run. It runs through the imaginary number domain.
Yeah.
Which is why it gets so interesting when Scientia gets to a part of the story, because that's a rebellion against the UMN, which is so awesome, but we'll get to that later.
Okay.
So just keeping it simple. That's the first dungeon you get to go through. I say dungeon, but it's a awesome countryside forest exploration with really pretty color. Like it looks really fantastic. And that's where you kind of have one of your first huge bosses. You've had a couple bosses so far, but Albedo, his fight is so fun because they expand on this combat. Every time you break him, you have to break into a special, and that breaks his arms. So you can blow his arms off, and you know how he can regenerate.
Yes.
His arms will be gone, and that's when he's open to like real attacks. And then that's when you like stock up again, and then you start doing real combos, which does real damage because normally he's blocking it with his arms.
Seriously, I like that creative. Because that's not. Yeah, it's very creative.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was such a fun fight. It really just took just kind of knowing the combat really well, because I did hit a point where I wasn't getting it and I wasn't able to. I really had to dig deep and just understand how the combat works. But I did the same thing with the first game, so it's
I'm guessing they didn't really
crazy.
Explain it very well.
most JRPGs, you kind of are like...
It's gotten better.
You have this feeling... It has, but it's like, there's this feeling of like, a tutorial happens and you're like, okay, I think I get what's going on.
Yeah.
Or even just like, okay, sure, I get what's going on. Maybe it'll make more sense, and then it doesn't make sense, and then you just kind of wing your way through a lot of combats, but you have to get to a point where you're like, I think I need to figure out what's going on here. For sure. And... So yeah, just continuing on that whole thing. The first dungeon is extremely fun, and I'm a huge fan of just the way it works. You go through it again, and it's like a winter time, so there's like snowy trees and all that, and I love that fight with Albedo. It's so freaking good. But continuing on from there, pretty soon after they return from that, Albedo gets a copy of the Y data, which is a fucking badass. That's bad for us. But Shion is visited by Fabronia, which we met at the end of the first game, who basically tells us at one point, she tells a lot of crazy stuff. She's like, she shows us this vision with the help of Nephilim, who visits Shion as well in the form of the Zohar. She shows us a vision of Cosmos destroying Milsha, the
planet, right?
Yeah, Fifth Jerusalem.
Yeah.
And like this crazy idea and fighting Udu. We see that at the end of the first game. But she also says, my sisters are being held where Milsha is, where the Zohar was cut off by Mizrahi because of all the gnosis that poured through and all the Song of Nephilim that was playing. So... you basically, as Shion, you take Alan, I fucking love Alan so much. He's the
comedy relief.
Yeah, the comedy relief. Really, he is. But like everyone's always just shitting on him. And I remember she like takes Alan. She's like, "You gotta be a man. Like we need to." They sneak in, steal a ship so they can get to Milsha. And it's like this special ship that she heard about, like from Kevin, because she's the chief of her department of fucking Vector. And it's just so funny because she's basically like, yeah, what the fuck, Alan? You don't have any balls? Like, you're not a man? You're not going to, like, assist me in this? Which is just, like, breaking into their, like, job and stealing a ship. Yeah. So very funny, but I love their dynamic so much because he like, you know, he'll try to be brave or he'll try to do things because he definitely likes her.
Oh, yeah. Right. And, goob.
Yeah, literally. So they end up getting to Second Milsha and meet up with the rest of the team, and that's when you see Kath and Cicely, if you remember that, Cecilia. Yeah, Catherine, the two girls that are locked in that thing that you said kind of look like Genova.
Yeah, I just think it's interesting. Her name's Kath.
Why?
Because Seven Deadly Sins.
Oh yeah, it's short for Catherine. It's Catherine and Cecilia, but they call them Cece and Kath.
Just saying.
You're right. So it's actually a really heart-wrenching scene. Cosmos has like these miniguns that she can like form and like use in combat.
Oh, and it's like her blade.
Yeah,
right?
Just like the blade. Yeah.
I think it shows those miniguns. Okay.
Yeah. Just like that. And those miniguns are they're pretty brutal because when you get there, you kind of learn the truth of they're these like little mangled corpse of these like little girl, like half human, half
yes, bro. You know, I remember this visual.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty disturbing.
Very disturbing.
Yeah.
Enough so where Shion is literally like she's like breaking down in tears right in front of them because the true way to let them free is by killing them. It's not about, and this is where the dark aspect of the game really comes in. It's not about like saving them. It's about freeing them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so she breaks down and Nephilim and Fabronia show up right in front of her and are like, we need you to free them. Like, this is what we were telling you about. And she literally like, she has like the command over Cosmos and she's like crying and she's like, Cosmos, like kill them both. And she open fires and just destroys both of their bodies with her freaking double minigun action. Very disturbing visual, very sad, and it brought like a little tear to my eye just because of how sad it was. During this time too, obviously we're dealing with we've had a good couple of what are they called? Dungeons at this point.
Yes.
But this is kind of like the final one.
Okay.
And at the very end, we see one of the, what are they called? A testament. That's what they're called.
A testament.
Yeah. a testament.
Yes.
So you remember what this was?
This was in Pied Piper.
This is Pied Piper.
Yes,
So
bro.
Eric Weber, that original guy who made contact with Udo, he wanted this thing to be fulfilled, and Wilhelm showed up and was like, yeah, Udo's not going to grant you any power, but I can. And he basically makes him the Black Testament, which there are 4 testaments he has. The Blue Testament, the Purple Testament, the Red Testament, and the... It's the blue, purple...
It showed 4.
Yeah, it did. It was blue, red, white, and black. Right? So those are the testaments that they have. And
I don't think it showed me in the video.
I don't think it did.
I think they were all silhouettes.
Yeah, they were silhouettes. But you're right. So the Black Testament being the main villain from Pied Piper, Voyager, the serial killer who was killing people through UMN dives. Ziggy comes face to face with him. He shows up to stop them after they destroyed the Proto Omega, which is that robot that can use the Zohar as its piece
at its core.
Come on,
that's
bro.
insane.
It can fire through the UMN into any place at any time. Like, so it can literally just shoot us in this room.
I said this off cast. Yes. It's literally the Death Star.
Yeah, it's the Death Star
with
for sure.
precision accuracy to anything that's in the physical realm.
Exactly. So
what?
We're able to take it down. It's the final boss. It's one of the final bosses. So we're able to take it down because Margulis.
Excuse me. Does it like activate like a fucking like transformer?
It kind of like it powers up the way
it does.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Okay.
The way it looks.
It's kind of mechanics. Bionis.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's
definitely got Mechon vibes for sure.
Yeah.
But it ends up destroying.
Pharaonis, I guess.
Yeah, Pharaonis.
Yeah.
We end up destroying it basically, and the Testaments show up, who are all under the hand of Wilhelm, and the Black Testament. Obviously, actually, is there any way we could pause? I could just show you this quick.
I would love to.
Just because it comes back a little bit.
Okay, we're back.
We just watched
officially. Yeah, this is crazy. So Albedo ends up showing up.
Yes, he will first. Freaking. Ziggy sees,
dude.
Freaking Eric Weber, Voyager again, who
remind me why he is so pissed at Voyager.
Do you remember?
Remind me.
Voyager's the one who killed his family and gave him that.
It was Ziggy's family.
Yes, Ziggy's. It was Jan Sawyer.
It was Jan Sawyer.
Jan Sawyer's. Which he had the kid and the wife.
The crazy ending in Pied Piper.
In Pied Piper, which is seriously such a trip, and I honestly think enhances this second game so deeply in such an incredible way. I agree. I think you need to know about that going into to enjoy Ziggy for who he is, I think. And seeing that scene. So not only did he kill his wife and kids, he is the reason he had to kill himself. He gave him impossible odds, and Jan didn't take him. You know what I mean? And through the Life Recycling Act, he was made back into a cyborg. And so pretty crazy stuff. But I just love that scene of him, like, no hesitation. He's calm throughout the whole game. That's the moment you see him just like lose his shit, and he is pissed. He literally literally after that
all out.
He has to punch through this wall to like open it up, and he punches so hard his arm explodes and comes off, and he like tears through the entire wall, just screaming about Voyager, dude. It's crazy.
He loses it.
He loses it, and it goes back to even an earlier conversation him and Rubido were having about like, do you know that you could control yourself if you were face to face with Albedo, was what he was talking about. And he said, no, I don't have any evidence. But do you have evidence that, you don't have someone that you wouldn't know whether or not you would lose your shit? And look at what happened. So just such a cool moment. I wanted to mention too, the whole heart of the game, not the whole heart, but a huge part of the heart is this story of Momo and Ziggy, and even to a degree Yuli, because we start the game and Yuli Mizrahi is not a fan of Momo at all. She really tries to avoid her best she can, and has no interest in her, even though Momo sees her like her mother and literally even calls her mommy and all that.
Yeah, dude.
It's a pretty emotional part.
Disheartening.
It's very disheartening. But Ziggy, he has this conversation with Yuli Mizrahi where he's just like, you are expecting her to be a fake replacement for your daughter. Like, why don't you try to shift your perspective where instead of looking at her as a replacement for Sakura, as an addition to Sakura, look at her like she is a different daughter. Look at her like because she's still a kid.
Yeah,
right? She still looks at you like a mother. And so don't let her like be a reminder of Sakura and like all those and that failure that you guys experienced. Let her be something new and let her be something like special to you. Allow that in your heart. And Yuli really opens up to it after she talks with him about it. And it really is like there's just so many moments where like she starts caring about Momo and she's like worried about her, and at the end you find out
Whoa! My bad, bro.
It's all good. You find out that oh, is it really? Oh yeah, I sent him your number.
Yeah, he said, "Yo, bro, it's Anthony."
Yeah, let's go.
Hell yeah. Anyways,
so shout out Anthony.
Shout out.
But at the very end, you kind of see the way the whole kind of character arc goes, where originally Ziggy's whole purpose was kind of to forget about everything, but since meeting Momo, Yuli asks him at the very end, she's like, please, like, will you extend your life, don't erase your memory, and do it for Momo, and like be on call for Momo because she needs someone like you, and he agrees. And it really is like such an emotional scene because it's like this man who was so ready to die or just forget or be done, brought back through the power of that kind of fatherly love. Reminds me of obviously freaking Last of Us, which is a hardened soldier who's broken down by the power of being a father to a daughter.
Yes,
and it's the exact same idea. So that was one of my favorite parts. The game kind of ends with a wrap up. Albedo is the kind of the final boss in the UMN.
So you fight him in
Junior,
the imaginary number?
Yeah, Junior is the only one who can go fight him, and he releases Red Dragon mode.
Oh,
yes. Yeah, and he destroys Albedo, and that's the end of Albedo, which is so funny because I kind of miss him because he was such a character. He's like so crazy that like his monologues are so fun, and I was just thinking about it in this third game. I'm like, damn, I kind of miss Albedo.
No, I know exactly what you mean. I love those kind of quirky villains.
Me too, dude.
Yeah.
But at the very end, we see Wilhelm approach Albedo in the imaginary number domain, so he might not even be dead. He, I think, is going to be revived as another testament, so he's going to be the White Testament. So there's a black, red, blue, and now there's a white one.
Seriously?
Yeah. So I'm really excited about that. I can't wait to see that.
Wow.
But, the game wraps up on a really high note.
Okay.
I literally wanted to play the next one right after. And I'm definitely going to talk about the same way we kind of touched on Pied Piper this one, which we definitely got to. I'm going to talk about the missing year.
Yeah.
Next time we talk about it.
Okay.
But I feel like I've gotten really everything. I feel like you've gotten kind of the experience of Xenosaga.
I got the gist. Okay.
You got the idea and the combat, and I don't know if you have any questions.
So I do.
Yes,
the thing that's coming to my head is I have two questions.
Okay.
The first question is, did you feel like, and you can expand on this as much as you want, there was pacing issues? Based on everything you said about
everything I was feeling. Yeah, I would say some of the dungeons just got a little bit kind of like too much.
Actually, let me rephrase. Plot-wise,
not
really
so much. I didn't feel it, but I think a lot of the pacing issues comes from the amount of times you spend in between plots in a dungeon, which I didn't really mind so much. I felt there were some
had
weird
a speed up.
I had a speed up,
right?
Which is why I can't really answer that. Me personally, I didn't really feel it. But if someone told me that, I would not be like, "Oh, what are you talking about at all?"
Right.
Because with the speed up, there were still some frustrating moments, and even some whole characters that were just relegated to like single boss encounters. And even like I felt pretty emotional by it, but apparently there was more that we were supposed to see of Cecily and Kath. So there was more
cut content
that was then put back in with the DS game Xenosaga 1 and 2, which is a reimagining of it. But a huge part was that when Xion was a little girl, she was close with Cicely and Kath. They used to hang out at the there's a hospital. Her parents were at the hospital a lot, and there was like a little playground where Shion and the other girls used to like play while like Fabronia was in the hospital. And so all that stuff would have really added to the emotional impact. It kind of comes off a little more disturbing than I mean, it's definitely tragic, but it could be more tragic if you kind of added that layer of death to that. So there were a couple moments where you can kind of feel things were getting rushed and things were just not fleshed out the way they should have been. But at the same time, nothing that really took me out of the game.
I see.
For the longest time.
Yeah. But no, I'm with it. My other thought here is like kind of like a big like thematic, and I think we can probably close on just this kind of question I got, which is the theme of the game.
Yes.
Really kind of akin to Paranoia Agent, kind of akin to Xenoblade 3. This idea of eternal recurrence. This idea of Wilhelm. Yes. Having his hands in everything to make sure the eternal recurrence happens. Yeah. Am I right?
Yeah, right. Absolutely. He is the guardian of the lower domain.
And he is literally using like godlike powers to make sure it happens, right? So is kind of like the theme here with the party, with Cosmos even like being like this transcendence of Mary Magdalene with like every single time, even like the enemy, like they get some crazy power spike. Yeah. There's always some like counter, right? That the party has. Yeah. That's like defying the odds. Sure. It's very much like Xenoblade, right?
Xenoblade.
So is it like fighting the idea that like Wilhelm, he's connected to Udo, right?
Udo?
Yeah.
Udo?
Udo.
Sort of. He's more of imaginary number ability.
But he has some purpose.
The collective unconscious.
He was created by so he's dead in a way.
To a degree,
because he was created by like this need to preserve mankind as a failsafe.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And he sees himself as absolute in that sense, which is why when he gains these testaments, it's like people he's impressed by. Or just people.
It's Mobius, bro.
It is Mobius in that sense. It's the same way where it's like, think of all the power that you gain when you become Mobius. That idea of Voyager already being powerful enough, and then gaining that upper hand.
Oh my gosh!
You saw in that clip too. No one's touching Voyager. You know what I mean?
Dude,
he literally teleported the things.
He didn't even move.
Ziggy. No, he didn't even break a sweat. That shit wasn't tough for him.
Yeah.
So yeah, there is definitely an element to that, and I think one of the biggest parts that I think resonated with me after 2 was this idea of what it means to continue to live and to continue to thrive. Ziggy lives through that idea like very heavily, but Rubido extremely as well. Like this idea that he had to halt himself and everything that he had done because of this mistake that he made, that he holds himself to. But the truth is, it's not about the mistakes you make. It's like how you get back up and how you continue to live. And that maybe even the sun keeps coming up, whether or not you made a bunch of mistakes. And so I think there's a human aspect that definitely should not be ignored when it comes to, obviously, Wilhelm is controlling a lot of it, but a lot of our characters don't know as much beyond their own personal strife. And Shion's dealing with it too. It's not just Ziggy.
Yeah, it's very complex.
It's extremely complex, and it really brings in every single character's kind of story to a degree. And I really love it.
That was beautiful. Joshy, I think we have to officially formally end.
We do.
Any main topic like this with a flash
score for sure.
Give it to me.
Okay. Me personally, I want
brutal honesty.
I know, I'm going to be brutally honest.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a 5 out of 5. I don't.
Fair.
Think there's enough issues where if you were to tell me that you didn't enjoy it, I could understand. And I could say that, I shouldn't need a fast forward button to make combat fun. Because that was not how it was built into the game.
Absolutely.
I should not be frustrated by the way the combat is. I also
this
don't
idea
think,
of like respecting your time.
Sure, yeah, respecting your time. That's a huge part of any game that I'm checking out nowadays. Because guess what? I don't have a lot of time. You know what I mean? So at that same time, also, I do feel like it is also an incredible piece to a giant puzzle that is Xenosaga. And I think it dives really well into these characters much, much deeper than the first game really did. Kind of the origin to a lot of them, but also the heart to where they lie. You know, and so...
yeah, bro. Dude.
And also, yeah, I want to say, too, obviously, I am... not the biggest fan of the voice acting. They changed a lot of voice actors. Just some stuff, you know, I've felt before that I thought I'd mention now. And to be honest, it sounds like I'm dogging on it a lot, but this is some of the most fun I've had with Xenosaga. Like, there is still so much going on.
If anything, you're just kind of laying out honest negatives.
Honest negatives.
That's probably all there is.
And I think that's all it is. And that is honestly my biggest issues with the game.
Yeah. Because if you feel hyped enough to still continue, still go into 3.
Oh man,
obviously
that ending
it's
got
still
me
in the positive
ready for
realm.
It.
Yeah, absolutely.
I teared up. That's no small.
That's no small feat, dude.
A little game,
right.
A game to make you feel.
Especially if you're struggling with like certain aspects, like the voice acting, like
so
the new models. Yeah, you said it.
Yeah. So the beauty of the game shined through some of the uglier aspects of it. Yeah. So I'm gonna give it a solid 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
I think it's deserving of it. It's not perfect, but it's not even close to being bad, and I don't think it's at all near any kind of negative score. I would say there's definitely
give me one word describing Xenosaga Episode 2.
Episode 2.
1 to 2 words.
Enlightening.
Enlightening.
I think it shines light onto almost every single character.
Beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful, Joshy. All right.
Yes,
let's segue into our epilogue. I actually tried doing a little bit of research. To be honest with you, the only things that I would basically have to design my own like trivia, because there was like no good trivia that I could find. Nothing that I was even interested in, to be honest. So,
I feel it.
I did find a good quote though. All right, my friends, that has been the official Flash Brothers podcast. This is our weekly show, essentially two best friends sharing our casual discussions centered around our collective interests,
and
such as,
I was going to say, intense breakdowns.
Absolutely, and intense breakdowns. Because that's really the essence of the show, is spreading positive vibes within the duality of our informal yet comprehensive and intense discussions filled with informative content. You know what I mean? Blending retro and modern topics framed around whatever we truly want to talk about. Mostly gaming, anime, and our many diverse passions got, right? So episodes do drop traditionally every Tuesday at 5 a.m. with pregame dropping 24 hours in advance. There's been a little bit of delay at the start of the season because of the getting a lot of details such as the music ironed out. That's really taken most of the time, but the normal schedule will be Tuesdays. So look forward to that. And if you want to get involved, you can write in. We got an email if you want to make it real easy, flashbrospodcast@gmail.com.
I'm all about
all the rest of our info and extra write-ins can be through our website, which is patreon.com/flashbrospodcast. And you can get direct access to our gold tier sponsorship. That's actually the only place you can really get truly plugged in and get like things such as special recognition during each episode. Direct DMs to the show for all write-ins, which we call Party Chat. And all exclusive premium content is all accessible through our low membership price, which also is permanent. We have a membership lock-in.
Yeah, we do.
So before we raise the price eventually, while it's $5 a month, you will forever pay that.
Forever.
So, Joshy, that is all I got for you today.
Wait, no quote?
Besides.
Oh.
Besides, my man, I was, bro. So I was looking up. I actually was looking up Ziggy quotes. Okay? Yes, Ziggy. And this quote, I think this is from because I couldn't really find any dialogue out of like Pied Piper. Okay, yeah. So this is from like a GameFAQs Reddit board via GameSpot, whatever. Discussion board, right? The quote is allegedly, it's either from Ziggy or it's a quote of Ziggy's. Okay. It is, without death, all the worries of life would pile up until life became an eternal prison.
That is what Ziggy says.
It is what he says.
Yeah, I think it's from the second one.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, so maybe it was like a rehashed quote stemming off of Pied Piper.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
But this is kind of like what I was kind of asking with like the bringing up as a final discussion of the theme behind Xenosaga Part 2 especially, right? This idea, right, of going to Pied Piper and how that ends and how it's like you have two choices here.
Yeah.
Okay. You become an eternal ethereal being.
Yes.
A god.
Right.
Like me.
Right.
Or I will absorb you into me for eternity.
Yeah. To be a part of me.
So the answer is no.
Yeah.
I would rather just end it now.
I make my own terms.
I make my own terms.
That's definitely a huge part of it, and that's why I mean by the personal aspect of all those ideas, because these characters are not gods beyond chaos, but like they're really not. They are, people who are born and put into this world that are kind of even flawed or don't know how to view this world, like Ziggy. He doesn't know how to go about this, being Jan Sawyer at one point, now being Ziggurat 8, wanting to be done with his memory, wanting to be done with this, and
like
being
torture.
And being pulled back by the human side. And what really does matter, what did he care about when he was human? And it's to be a father and to care and to love and to protect
and to make sure what happened to those girls doesn't happen ever.
Yes,
like, because that's
absolutely.
So it's not how the soul is meant to exist.
Absolutely.
Right? So Joshua, with that being said, that is officially a wrap for this week's episode of the Flash Brothers podcast. My friends, thank you so much for joining us.
What did you think of the breakdown?
Being part of today's voyage. I loved it, bro. I am so Voyager. I am so hooked into this series, and I've enjoyed from my seat in listening to your passion behind it, in already having somewhat of a painted picture from my own research after finishing Xenoblade 2 and becoming obsessed, just like you're talking about. And also Caleb, prefacing a lot of this lore. It's fascinating, and I'm really looking forward to, personally, the Timeline Part 3 episode. And then having you wrap up Xenoblade Episode
together
3.
Easily.
Yeah. So keep us updated. What'd you think? Is everything you wanted to?
I feel like I definitely wish I dove into Pied Piper a little bit more.
Okay.
To be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I also think the important part is the second game, and I don't want to mix up too much of my feelings that can.
Well, this will not be the last time we talk about Xenosaga or Pied Piper, especially now that I know personally how existential and important Pied Piper really is. You are absolutely right. I thought that was that was one of my favorite parts of the timeline video.
Me too.
Was what happens in Pied
I literally
Piper.
Was so
I'm like, are you serious?
And I was like, oh my gosh, how does this connect with the story? And when I found out it was Ziggy, and then I found out about Voyager, I was like, oh my gosh, this is epic. But also, it gets even more epic. Yes. Obviously, the main teammates, a lot of them die, Bugs explodes, right, in that whole story and the way it's told.
So sad.
It is sad.
And I knew it was like it was set up. You knew this was going to happen.
It's like a tragedy.
Yes.
But the two that are left is a Realian who's taken apart for, maintenance that it has to do.
Right.
And then this girl who starts Scientia, which is such a massive part of Missing Year and Part 3. And it just, all of this connects.
It all connects.
This
so
idea
we will be getting
to
Scientia and more, my friends.
And what Shion and the gang are up to.
That's right. Yeah. So don't forget, guys, check out, leave a comment on today's episode if you want to write in. Once again, flashbuzpodcast@gmail.com. And as always, Josh Amation Station, thanks for cooking with me.
Of course, buddy.
My fellow Voyager.
Of course.
As hell for you, bro.
I don't like going by Voyager, dude.
The Voyager.
Call us the Jan Sours.
The Jan Sour Testaments.
What?
Last call, my friends. I'm just kidding, bro.
No.
You know we're the good guys.
We have to be. Why'd you look at what? What was that?
We'll see y'all next week.
Yeah,
Be safe, spread love, and enjoy your weekend.
Spread love, and remember what life is all about. Right?
Chicken, bacon,
what?
ranch.
True.